Supposedly, it was it Miyazaki. He
All right,
was like,
we're
"Oh yeah,
live. I finally got it
he
working.
wants to do it. He wants to do it." But we're live,
Yeah,
live.
Miyazaki said
Yeah.
he wanted to do it, right?
Yeah, so that's why
So
I'm
But
like,
what's the
somebody, who
holdup?
was I talking
it's
to?
on Sony. He's like, it's on Sony.
Somebody
I'm
said
like,
Well,
that so and so wasn't happy with a little part of the Demon Souls remake. They weren't thrilled by, I don't know if it's existence or just,
why?
I don't know, because the team who made the game didn't work on it. So I don't know if there was some animosity going on, but they did a great job. I mean,
It happens all the time.
they took the actual original code and just put better visuals on top of it. It doesn't have, it's not like they built it in Unreal Engine and it feels completely different. It feels exactly like the PS3 game.
One of the best,
and truthfully, I don't want
best
to
Metal
see
Solid
another
games that were
remaster.
remakes.
I don't really care to see another. I mean, when I saw the Days Gone remaster, I was like, Jesus, come on.
It's just funny as the only
Really?
one that I didn't jokingly say was going to happen was
Yeah,
that
you
it was
did.
Days Gone.
Yeah.
I mean, a new House Smart game is great, but like it just does suck that it was a CGI trailer because it looks like
It's
it's
a game that
Returnal
comes out
2
next
that's
year.
not Returnal 2.
What? Yeah, year, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
oh,
guess a couple of the better looking ones didn't say this year. So as far as I'd say the two highlights
And
were.
again, I hate to bring it back to the Xbox, but when that was just, a lot of people were, wow, they don't got nothing. There was a lot of grimacing from Xbox. What was it, 23, 22, 2022? Or 23? I can't remember which year it was. Well, they had
I
like
think
one
it was
game or something.
22, because 21 they had Halo and
Forza.
Well, it wasn't 21.
they had
22
Forza
was
Horizon
Forza
5.
and Psychonauts.
Yeah, I think that was 21.
It was
They
probably
had,
22. Yeah.
but 22 they had literally. I think they
22.
had Pentiment and
Well, I am playing through 2022 games, so I know it's Pentiment and As Dust Falls is one of them
Yeah.
that I have
That
written
was the
down.
Pentiment As Dust Falls year. Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
It,
unless they're holding
Where-
something for the summer showcase for the end of this year. I don't know what they have for this year from them themselves. But
from a historian standpoint, from what I see, this is the worst Sony generation yet.
yeah, they're
From
definitely.
my standpoint.
I would agree.
I
I
mean,
would agree.
Agreed.
I don't know, Robert. We'll ever get how long it'll take you, but I remember when that was announced, they were going games as a service like eight whatever they said 8 to 10 or whatever they said they were gonna go in development or head in development. I was just like, maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I just felt like that's not Sony. That's not what their I don't think their fan base
You
is
talking
very
about
large.
the podcast? I'm on like we're talking about
We're still talking
Splatoon
Switch.
2.
Yeah.
We're talking about Splatoon
I don't know
2.
if I ever said it or if I just thought it to myself or talked about it off air, but I was just like, to me, that was like the worst idea when that news came out. I was just like, what are you doing? Like,
They still got some more though. It's not like they don't have.
Well, I
They
mean,
still got
at
fair
the-
games,
Here's the thing, though.
marathon.
I don't
I could see
I
why.
don't have a problem with them doing different things. I mean, the generation, we're in a different time when it comes to gaming.
But
You
to
can't,
go that all
you know,
in with it,
especially
like,
these guys. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a little bit much, but I don't begrudge the sentiment. Of
no,
them
if they
trying
just
to do
did like one or
because
two, I would have been
they've
like,
been,
oh
they've
yeah.
been saying it for years. We cannot afford to keep putting out big cinematic, story-driven, big production games, and only and I say only, but only sell even 7 or 8 million copies because that's not enough for what these budgets are.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to subsidize it in some way, and what deep end clearly they're trying to do too much because even if they stuck to these games, how many of those are gonna, you know what I mean? Like people only play so many types of games. They only play their own, their third person hero shooter, whatever. Not all those things do well. There's only a few of them in the market that actually do
And
really well.
just watching
So,
other people's videos,
you get-
people are still playing Fortnite. Like, there's guys like Red Knight was
Right.
just, he's talked about
But you know
Fortnite.
what?
Yeah.
Fortnite has evolved a lot.
It has.
Yeah.
And they just stick to what they were good at, and they actually evolved, and that's That's credit to them.
But it's good.
But not everybody's gonna pull that.
Yeah, and you're just trying to basically hit the lottery with these games. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Among Us was a big hit. What was the other one? Fall Guys. I bet you hardly anybody plays Fall Guys anymore. Like that was
I played Fall Guys actually. I think it was like
compared to what it was. I bet,
like-
and I wouldn't be surprised if there's still like
Yeah, but again,
tens of
to be
thousands.
fair,
Oh, even Power World.
To be fair, though, I mean, like
Power World.
I think a lot of people always think about the peaks and stuff. Like you could have, it's going to be ebb and flow with most games, other than the ones that are just will always consistently like.
But
as
that
long as
was
they're making
huge.
money,
I'm talking about the
which is like-
games that make a huge splash and then they get back to reality, and it's like, are they making a
Yeah.
ton of money off of
Fall Guys
these
is still
games?
making money though. That's it's already
My
cheap
bad.
money to it's already cheap game to make. You know what I mean? So that game's going to be still making money, something like that.
What game?
And especially something
Fall
like
Guys?
Power World
Oh.
makes a ton of money. I mean, Power World.
But
made
the
profit
point
the
is, like
first
Power
week.
World, Fall Guys. I mean, Fortnite's still like the top, like one of the top ones, and it's like that's
Yeah.
obviously they've evolved, like T said. But it just blows my mind seeing some of the videos I watch, and these guys are playing Fortnite. I'm just like, I'm surprised, but yeah, it does. It's not the same game. It's crazy what the hell's happening in that game now.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's weird because they've made it essentially a platform on its own. Well, they'll have games within games, but they
Mhm.
still have the
Platform.
traditional what people love, the battle royale sort of stuff. Just
But it's
there.
also like really big file size too. I was
There,
looking.
yeah, well, because there's like several. It's like a platform. Like you have the
Kind of like Roblox.
yeah. To be honest, yeah, and
Well,
and the,
It's not quite that, but yeah, same.
well, because you
idea.
can also build stuff. They have a Lego Fortnite, and that's within Fortnite, and then they have the Rocket League guys made a racing game within Fortnite.
That's what I was
and
thinking
they
about
had-
downloading it, and I'm like 100-something gigs to play this racing game.
And then you could build maps. You have your own map builder in Fortnite. But then the traditional regular Fortnite is still the biggest thing, where it's just but what really sells it a lot is the bajillion of crossovers with the tons of skins that people buy
Mhm.
for every single one. And
So it's like it depends on what your goal to what you're trying to achieve. Are you gonna be happy with I don't know what a respectable monthly income from a microtransactions for one of these games would be. You're looking for $1 million a month, 10 million a month, 100,000 a month. Like what is your goal? Is what's acceptable and what can make the game worth make up its development cost and then make a profit. And it's like, do one or two. But to go all in the way they did, just like, oh yeah, we got all our main studios working. I'm like, or like all main, but some of our main studios working on these games, and it's like, it was just crazy.
Everyone always says don't put all your eggs in one basket, and they did that.
But then they have one failure, and then they just pulled the plug on. We've talked about this multiple times.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
that seemed promising, one or two that seemed promising. It's like the ones you cancel. It's like I don't know. I couldn't even tell you
Don't
who's.
get that at all.
Is it still the guy from Gorilla? Is he still in charge of the PlayStation?
Oh no,
they
got
just-
demoted.
they replaced him.
basically. He basically got demoted.
It is. I mean, the company I work at, there is a night and day difference, good and bad. Sometimes with the head person, we've had a head person come in and we just completely was like, oh wow, we're doing great. Retires, and then the next person comes in. It's like, just a bunch of bad decisions. We start tanking, and another person came in, replaced him, and now it's kind of leveled out. It's just like, you wouldn't think that somebody in charge of hundreds, thousands of people, multiple businesses could have such an impact. So I honestly, I don't have much faith in PlayStation like in the next few years.
For this generation. Yeah, I don't. I think honestly, you ain't gonna see games
It's
from
gonna
most of
take a
these
little
guys
while.
till PS6.
I mean,
I really
I'm
think so.
sure I don't. I can't remember that damn name. The Housemarque game.
Saros? I forget.
I have no doubt
yeah.
that'll be a great game. It looks like they're
Yep.
repeating the same formula. That was one thing I was
Yeah,
hoping.
it looks like Returnal.
I was hoping they would
Yeah.
take the gameplay, take the excellent controls and shooting, and just construct a single player linear game. But I
They're
mean,
going back to. They're still doing another roguelite.
It
Yeah,
looks
they're doing
like-
another rogue.
but I'm like, will I like it?
That's
Probably.
what they're good at.
But
Yeah.
That's what they do.
I also would.
I mean, what
I
did
like
they
to see
do?
them.
You know, I don't mind
What?
them. You know, changing it up though.
I
you
wouldn't
know?
mind them seeing an attempt like a Metroid
yeah,
Prime
like-
style like game, like single player game.
That kind of talk was a little annoying when people say, "Oh, well, this is what these companies do. What are you expecting them to go do?" Yeah, you're a fucking company. You should be able to evolve and adapt and do.
Well, they
other
never did
things
anything
and-
like Returnal before, like that.
Exactly.
Right. Before Returnal, they had the side-scrolling
The
shooter.
Resogun
You know,
stuff,
like
yeah.
they jumped from
Maybe they
Resogun
just
to
really
Returnal,
love.
which was
Maybe
insane.
maybe the studio just really loved that style and just said, let's try
Maybe.
let's try again with it. But I would have loved, them to do, obviously, like a Metroid Prime style or.
I mean, look at Retro Studios, man. You go from Metroid Prime to Donkey Kong Country. It's two completely different things, and they're both some of the
It
greatest.
doesn't always work. What is it? What's the that series where you're like a robot and you're like digging underground? You have like
SteamWorld Dig.
SteamWorld Dig.
Yeah, I didn't
So
like the.
SteamWorld Dig guys.
tactical
They
one.
went to the Gunk.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
I like the Gunk. I did like the Gunk actually.
And
thought
I
it was
liked the
pretty
Gunk, but it didn't hit with everybody. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that
Well, also
that's
to be
still
fair, it wasn't on
like the
platforms
fact
that
that-
people were gonna play it on. Remember, it was only on Xbox and
true.
PC.
it was only on Xbox.
No offense, Mohammed. I know he's
That
in the
is
chat,
true.
but Xbox players weren't gonna play that game. You know.
But even I
I didn't
didn't.
hit cap for that game, but you ain't. I bet he ain't played that game. I bet he ain't played
It didn't seem like it
So,
received the
I
critical
played the hell out
acclaim.
of that game. I
that-
love that.
Yeah, I
game.
thought it was a good game.
Their other
I enjoyed it.
games, maybe
Yeah.
it was just like one of those didn't connect with some people, but their other games are always like really well received.
I even played it. I probably played half of it on Xbox Cloud on a cloud.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm even a bigger Xbox dude than you is, Muhammad. So how about that? I bet you use the cloud, do you? Do you? And you're capping every week.
Like fake cloud using having boy.
Yeah, I know, but honestly, that is actually a pretty because I enjoy that game, and
No, it's a
no
good
one really
game.
talked about it, and it was one that that like at first I was like I don't know if I'm feeling, but like the further I got in, I was actually quite enjoying it.
So, let's see, SteamWorld Heist, SteamWorld Dig, all those were 80s to high 80s. SteamWorld Dig 2 88, and then the Gunk. Not that
Mhm.
this is everything, but 70. So it was a bit below. And then they
Below,
did
but
a
it's
Steam. They
still
did
a
a
good score.
SteamWorld build.
I wonder how much of that is Xbox tax though. I think that game was on everything. It had a higher score. Like, come on. That game has fun. Technically has no flaws whatsoever.
Yeah.
A really cool concept. Play is fun, and it was really addicting for me. I couldn't stop playing it. So, I just think it was because it was stuck on Xbox. The game didn't get the shine it should have got because it's a good game.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
love
like
the graphic style too.
Yeah, and honestly, I remember they announced it. I might have watched a couple reviews when it came out. Maybe I didn't, because I'm watching gameplay right now and I'm trying to see if this looks familiar.
Yeah, if it was on Switch, and it probably should be on Switch, but they'll probably wait for Switch 2 and try to maybe.
Yeah, I wonder.
I think that was I'm
Reinvigorate the
pretty sure it
crowd.
was on Xbox One also. Like if it was on Xbox
Yeah,
One,
it was on
like,
Xbox One. It could probably run on Switch 1, but I'm sure they're not going to do it at this point.
Yeah, at this
So,
point.
I
I don't
think,
know if
I
they-
think
I
it
don't know
deserves
if-
another shot. Let
Yeah.
me try and sell it for Switch 2, and I bet it would do a lot better.
Yeah, I also don't know if I don't know.
I wonder if
they
it's
really
who's
care.
that up to? Did Microsoft own the IP, or did they just?
No,
publish?
they didn't. I think they just made a deal with them because I don't think they even published it.
Did they publish it?
No,
That's no.
no, it was
So,
the
So it's like the reverse Sunshine. It's like
What is
instead of
their name?
spraying,
Something
suck it.
inform.
image inform.
Image
it's
inform.
yes, it was published by Thunderful, so it wasn't published by Microsoft.
So I wonder why they
It-
didn't put it on
reason
other
they won't.
platforms.
If I had a deal with them or something, who knows? But
I'm sure they
but-
got a deal.
It's 3 years
had to.
They got a deal
already.
to put it on Game Pass.
'cause why would they? Why would
They
they?
got
Why would they put it on there and not PlayStation at least at the minimum?
Mhm.
it was a deal. I'm sure they got paid.
It was
Yeah,
3 years
it
and
was on
4
Game
months
Pass,
ago
so.
since it came out.
Yeah, 2021 game. That's
That-
why I only played it like literally a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I think it was literally
I think
like
I
a few
played
months
it
ago.
pretty much close to launch, if not exactly at launch. I think I played it pretty close.
And I think I
I
played it
was
on
xClouding
PC.
that bitch on my Steam Deck.
Something like that.
You
The
mentioned
Steam Deck
a
came out
while
that
ago you were
summer, right?
thinking of selling your Steam Deck. You still thinking that?
I know. No.
Really?
I started playing it recently. I'm like, it's a beautiful ass screen, bro.
Telling you, I'd pay extra
Just download
for
it.
a Switch 2 OLED. That's for sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe their plan is to do what
I just
everybody
downloaded some
says.
stuff
Just
for it.
wait and release it later to get so people can double dip a
Well,
year or two
again,
later.
if they come with a screen that's similar to the oh my god, what is it called? Lenovo Legion Go. They come with an LCD screen comparable to that, then that's great. It's OLED is still better. But it's not like a big drop. You know what I mean?
I
It's
think the
it's
Portal, people say the
okay.
Portal screen's really good too. That's LCD. I've never seen one in person, but
Mm.
But
that's
I
the
will
same
say that,
size, so it could be
um,
technically
recently,
Yeah,
same screen.
it might be the same screen.
my last few pickups, and I've noticed this because I said my last 10 games that I've essentially picked up, that a decent amount have been on Xbox over PlayStation, just because I've noticed that a lot of times the physical copies are cheaper on Xbox than PlayStation. I think it's just because they
If
don't
you can
sell as
find
well
them.
on their no, on eBay. If you go on eBay, like a lot of times they're cheaper. Like other than, I guess this was a, to be fair, Christmas gift, but like Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga that I played was cheaper on Xbox than PlayStation. Even if it's by a few bucks, like I've noticed that's just kind of consistent, and I think it's just because probably they don't sell as well, so they kind of have to lower it down,
I think they're
especially years
gonna
later.
be worth more later on though, because they're more rare. Some of them for sure.
Maybe, but I think I don't know, like some of those third parties, I don't think are really gonna be up in price at all ever. But like stuff. I just noticed that even right now, I just bought another game, and I was like, I didn't know I had a physical, but it was also Xbox was a little bit cheaper. No, again, a couple dollars.
I was gonna say
It adds
collector
up.
tip if you care. Oh, go ahead. Keep finish here.
No, but because like I got like one of the Dark Pictures games that was cheaper on Xbox. Lego Skywalker Saga was cheaper on Xbox. Yeah, what else? I just got a few other games. I forget, but I just
Because nobody plays physical games on Xbox anymore.
yeah,
At this
no,
point.
that's why I've noticed that. It's just like I'm like it was like, well, for me, since I have both of the platforms, it's really just like whatever is cheaper, I just buy it on that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? 'Cause at that
Well, I was
point,
gonna say collector. What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Collector tip here. You should definitely, especially later generation Xbox, Xbox Series games, buy those on physical. Buy all of them you can buy, because I
you're
believe
talking about
a lot of those games are going to go up,
like the Microsoft
price.
games,
Especially Microsoft games, because
like Halo Infinite type
it's
stuff.
rare that they even put out games on at this point. Like if you can get Indiana Jones, any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, current games. You talking about current games?
Yeah, current games.
Okay.
Yeah. Those things, because like High on Life, that thing is already ridiculously priced.
Yeah, I think I was seeing that.
And again, I think that's one to get on either system. I think High on Life, stuff like that. Baldur's Gate 3, they still don't have a just the game version of that on Xbox.
What is it? Just a special edition?
Yeah, you have to get like the $150 special edition to even get that game physically on Xbox.
You know what's also really expensive is I started playing this game. You know what game it is? Grounded. and that
Grounded.
game they had a limited release for I guess every console, and that shit is expensive. It's like a minimum $90, and I was like, damn. And that's for Grounded for like every console.
What version? Oh, really? Every console?
They have it's like a limited release apparently. And
yeah, it's not.
I played a little bit of it, a few hours of it, and I thought
it was really fun.
Really fun. Yeah, it was pretty solid so far. You know,
I mean, I can't get into it, but it's a fun game.
yeah. If people like really are into survival games, like in terms of the nitty gritty stuff,
Right.
like
If
you
you're
could
into
definitely
survival, then you
you could really get into
love
that.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to get a physical copy. I actually put a bid on eBay for a little bit more than I would, and then by literally like the last second, someone put $1 more than me and got it. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll, and then I noticed I
Those
actually
last
have.
second.
I noticed I have Game Pass Core, and it comes with Game Pass Core, so I ended up just playing a few hours on there. So
Yeah. So you got to have your bid ready. Like it could be anything. It could be
yeah,
$10 or $20 more than you wanted to pay, right?
yeah.
And you have it ready, and you wait until 4 seconds left. It's the trick. 4
No, I
seconds.
know. That's
Click
why
it.
I was literally
Type
changing when
it.
it said like 3 second to, and then I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then someone did it by $1. I was like, damn. But I thought
It's not
if I did,
$1.
like, max.
It's not $1. They just outbid you.
Mm,
It's
okay.
It's not by $1. They just have to outbid you, and it only costs them $1 more than what you
okay.
pay or what you bid. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They could have put in $100 more than what you than what your bid was.
That was
If your bid was
because
higher, they pay $1 more. That's how it works.
that guy got it for pretty much cheaper. I think he got it for 71, and instead of like right now, like I said, the minimum was like 100, 110 or something. I'm like, damn. And
Yeah.
that was my
Like
first bid.
say you put in 75, right? You 70 you had 3 seconds ago. Somebody else put in 100. They only have to pay 76.
Got you. I thought they would have to pay 100. That's why I was worried. I didn't want to put some higher amount.
No.
Okay.
Unless a bunch of people jumped in and 80, 90, then then they had to pay 100.
Oh, okay,
But-
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
is
that's how it
it
works.
still? I don't know. Can you set that so like somebody has to outbid
Your
somebody by $5?
I don't know.
I don't think you. I think that's on eBay. I don't think you can change that.
I pretty much
people
only
would
buy
definitely-
stuff. I only
People
bid
would
that one
definitely
time.
manipulate that system.
Hmm.
People be in there bidding with another account for this shit to make up.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not too surprising, I guess. I didn't think about that.
Oh, I'm sure people do that all the time.
I actually haven't bid. I just do the buy it now. My most stuff's just
Me
buy
too.
it now. A lot of
Yeah, I
places.
mean, I buy
I'll
literally
bid once in a
everything
while.
on eBay, man. You know, especially like all these years later, like it's just kind of easy to. It's cheaper and easier. Although I just, my next few
Cheaper?
games. Yeah, man. Probably I've
It's
been
less
comparing prices.
of a hassle, that's for sure.
I've been comparing prices, man. There's a lot of again, we're talking Series X, PS5, and Switch games. We're not talking like some
Oh,
other I'm just talking about these games. But I the next few games, one of them I'm finally getting into is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was doing
welcome to the
my
21st
randomization.
century.
I was doing my randomization, and it did land on Pokemon Legends Arceus. So after.
That was an early game that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it
Right.
has I'm not going by release order.
I know,
anyway, so
but
just-
you would have been
right?
playing it.
Yeah, I would have probably already played it, to be honest. But it's I just finished this game like today, which I thought was great. But
Who- do you already know who
What the
your
hell?
starter is?
Stanley
gonna be
Parable?
for-
Oh yeah.
and then I'm playing. What am I playing? I'm playing Gibbon, this Monkey Ape game. I don't remember from like Indie World or what, but
like a gibbon monkey?
yeah, like a Gibbon monkey. It's literally called
Okay.
Gibbon Beyond the Trees.
Interesting.
And I'm playing it on PS5, and then I'm gonna play Pokemon Legends Arceus. But
you know,
it looks very cool.
if Frieza was playing that game, he would know what it's like to be a monkey.
Who?
What? Is that
That was
what
my
Dragon Ball?
elementary school.
Yeah. If
Oh,
Frieza
okay.
was playing that game, he would know what it's like to be a monkey.
Unfortunately,
That's where I went to an
or else I
elementary
hear,
school,
man.
didn't
I don't know the Dragon Ball reference.
I forget. My fault. He's
Yeah, I'm
he's
not a
racist.
Dragon Baller
Put it that
either.
way. Put it that
Oh.
way. He's racist. So a monkey is like
Damn.
another term for black
Wow.
people. So yeah. And then ironically, they made his transformation black. So now the irony is in full effect.
It's Zack the Black Ranger all over.
All right. I'm waiting for some pictures to show up. Emailed me. for reference, but I spent the last all weekend and extra day doing what's called the Retro Bright on my Super Nintendo, where you take the shell off and you soak it in 12% hydrogen peroxide with UV lights, and for like a couple days. And frickin', I was skeptical. Sandstorm, did you see the picture I posted on X?
I just saw it, literally.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the before pictures to show up so I can share them.
That shit
That's
blows my
crazy.
It
mind.
was like blew
I
my
didn't know-
mind when
I didn't know that was-
pulled it out of and started drying it off. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like this actually?
I didn't know that was a thing, man.
I've
I've
heard about it.
I have a very yellow Super Nintendo, so
I heard about it.
Yeah, I was
a couple
surprised
years
how
ago.
good you did. That was
But what I noticed was I watched a couple different techniques, and one guy, it's like you just put a little bit in, and then you put it in the liquid in the bottom, and then you have the plastic above, and then you have it in an airtight thing. And you got to be out in the sun all day, like you got to live somewhere where you get some sunshine, unlike Michigan in the winter. And
Right.
it was all blotchy and weird looking. Well, everyone pointed out he didn't wash the plastic first. There was filth, and if you watch, I went back, watched the beginning of the video,
oh.
just like complete dirt and stuff, grime, and he just like, you're gonna take the time
Gotta
to like
clean it
do a
first.
YouTube video, like wipe, like, and everyone else is soak it in hot water, leave it in there for like 30 minutes and scrub it, and that's what I did, and I think it
That's
turned out
crazy.
great. So I'm gonna
Yeah. It looks nearly brand new.
Yeah.
A couple things I messed up. I had the power and reset button in there a little too long, got a little ashy. As far as in the eject, I wasn't gonna put it in there.
That's not something you could kind of rub.
No,
There's it just got okay.
and
It looked like almost like
that's
something
the
you could,
only
like, scratch
flaws.
off
And
of.
I was like, I wasn't even gonna put it in there. Just had a little bit of discoloration, and I thought I'll just throw it in there. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen for the viewers. So that's pretty accurate. I adjusted my color temp on my camera to
It's
get
crazy.
pretty much. It might have been even a little bit more yellow greenish, the top piece. Like just, I mean, it looks like tan really, then not really yellow.
Yeah.
It's just tan.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
like.
how. That's
But look
how
at this.
mine is
Look at
and
how perfect the centerpieces
Yeah.
were. Like,
stuff.
look brand
Doesn't
new.
make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin had this for like 20 years, and when I picked it up, it was in a basement with a bunch of potheads down there. They just smoked down there all the time, and it was just sitting out there. I don't know if that helped or advanced its discoloration, or
Probably all the smog just sitting on top of it.
so. Yeah, that's
smog.
Oh yeah.
We-
so,
All that weed smog.
yeah.
so that was 2 days ago, and this is today. I mean, look at that.
That shit looks brand.
Yeah, that is
It's
crazy.
like mine.
I mean, I'm so lucky.
Blows
I'm
my
glad
mind.
my cousin didn't like drop it or have any major scratches or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
like, let me just
Yeah.
put this up. Let me go to the front
Did
view.
you show it to him yet?
No, I don't. It's funny. He got busted for transporting marijuana before it was legal. He's in California. I don't know. I haven't seen him in years.
Mm.
And my aunt and uncle haven't seen him. They hear from him about once a year apparently.
Oh.
But I won't be able to see it. But there's just a little bit of some spots, and then
Yeah.
the eject has a couple. Other than
That
that,
shit's
But
crazy.
nothing.
But look at-
nothing's physically
I
wrong
couldn't
with
get
it,
this
but
piece off, so that's like a little bit of legacy of its discoloration. This
that's okay,
sticker, this sticker, a little bit around the edges, but the bottoms actually
Mhm.
cleaned them up. They actually look better than they did before.
That's
Crazy.
just nuts, man. It literally does look brand new, man.
Yeah.
I'm so
That's okay. Don't ever show the butt. That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
who's
tried.
looking at that?
I would have
You'll
to
never see the ass, anyways.
I would have to desolder stuff, and I didn't. I got a soldering iron today, but I didn't. I wasn't gonna mess with that. And then I did the controllers, which turned out. I had two
Well,
controllers.
that looks, but also, I mean, I mean,
So
I
you
gotta
can
be
see some
curious.
ashiness there.
Mm-hmm.
Did the controllers yellow too or something?
It
Or-
wasn't as bad,
Okay.
but it definitely had a little bit. And then the thing is, like, one said 1992 inside on the board, and the other said 1990. And then one, I think maybe my cousin had swapped them out with maybe the ones, and this has like the L&R is like a dark color, and this is just an indentation. You can't even see it. It's just like a recess L&R. So they probably had multiple controllers, and just somebody took one home or left whatever the two he decided to put back when I bought it back from him. So one said 92 inside, one said 90. The one that the silicon or whatever that had like tears and stuff, that one is way more clicky and responsive than the one that was like the silicone looked perfect. So it's like the one that looked good, it feels like mush. The one that looked all battered and torn, that's fucking clicky and responsive. So it was
to be jealous, but
you got
clean too though.
nice.
I was gonna say,
It's a little hard to see with that light.
clean butt.
Are you saying, is it yellow or is it, because it looks
It's
pretty
gray.
good to me. Oh, it is? Okay, yeah,
clean.
so it fixed.
No,
because I thought with
I
the
don't-
lighting, I thought you were trying to show those yellow also.
I looked
I
at
don't
see
replacement
yellow on it,
shells, 120
That's what I'm saying,
bucks.
like,
Somebody wanted 120.
I suggested that, and I looked, and I was like, "This is nonsense."
They wanted 60 for one that was just looked just like mine. Like, and then the replacement shells, there wasn't a lot that I seen, like the clear ones, and then you paint the inside, and it looks like a nice whatever color you want. It looks like a kind of a gloss finish. And I was like, you know what? It was $21 a gallon of that peroxide. I needed 2 of them, and then so it was like $44, and then I got the UV lights off Amazon for like $17. But I'm doing the NES shell right now, and I expect that to look brand new too, because I did a little test with the flap, and it was, even after only a few hours, it was looking good. So, and then I did the backside.
What are you gonna do? Oh.
The backside of one NES controller was as bad as my Super Nintendo, and that's light gray again. So
What are you gonna do about the wording, Nintendo Entertainment System?
yeah, I mean,
wiped off a little bit. Did you find any decals? So I'm sure
I didn't look yet. I almost kind of
Yeah.
want to leave it as like part of its story now. Just say, you know,
But-
but I got to get it working.
I did the claim and I fucked it up. Is that the story?
We'll see what's available. I'd like if somebody had like a stencil where you could tape it off and paint it and then peel it.
What I was saying about the decals, I think there are like clear, what do you call it? Like clear sticker kinds where you can just kind of, put it on and it looks like it's just a label, or it's not looking like a sticker.
Yeah, where it's just the letters
Or you
stay.
could remove it all. Just remove the
Yeah.
entire logo.
I'll
and
figure
then-
something out, but right now I'm trying to get the NES working. I got one of the big capacitors. I got it out pretty easily. One of the small capacitors, I have a short, and 2 of the capacitors had shorts. With checking with the multimeter, I'm trying to get it working. And they're cheap. I ordered replacement capacitors for both sizes. It's like, oh, this got a little soldering gun. Did my tests on a test board. Flawless. I go to do just a little capacitor, which should take 30 seconds to a minute. I spent 30 minutes. I couldn't get the fucker out. The solder won't liquefy. It just won't do it. I don't know what else to do. So I don't know, but this whole thing just got me.
You having trouble soldering?
The little tiny capacitors. I mean, it's like a pin drop a little bit more than a pin drop, probably this pencil point of solder, and it like starts to melt, and then I go to like push this, it won't push out, and then now it won't even liquefy. And I was like, I cranked the setting up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Then I was like, well, let me test it on this other one. Instantly worked. So there's something about that. I don't know. It's because it's so tiny. I don't know what's going on, but
It dries pretty quickly. So
yeah, I mean,
how
I
about-
was holding the tip on for like 10 seconds, and it just it wouldn't melt. And I was like, what? Something wrong with the tip? And then I go do my test piece on a little board off an air
Something wrong with the
compressor.
tip?
and it fucking
Yes, sir.
instantly just liquefies. Like what the fuck? I don't know, but it's frustrating, and I don't have. It'd be nice if I had an extra set of hands, somebody could like, pull on a little bit, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get that thing working. That'll be an accomplishment.
What causes the yellowing? Like, is there like, for instance, I can
They
only
said
think-
it's like
I
a
think the PS5
UV
logo.
flame retardant or something they put in the plastic.
Oh,
some
what
kind
about the PS5? You think that'll ever yellow?
I don't
Is
think
it
I
like the
don't
white?
think
like
so.
it's that? I feel like it's that type
Which
of like
one?
PS5.
you mean
Oh,
like
the,
part of
the white part? The white part of it.
that part?
Who
that's
knows?
Oh,
I'm
no,
not-
it's gonna yellow.
No.
Maybe I think they've come a long way. I mean, you're talking 30 years of.
This is old plastic.
If you look at the
Yeah, I don't
bottom,
know. I feel like maybe this could one day yellow. We'll see yellow PS5s. 30 years from now.
well, you can just pop those off real easy though.
I've seen
Yeah.
like GameCube power buttons that have yellowed
Really?
So-
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because they're
Well, I didn't know the Sega Saturn there was a white version, and watch this girl who fixes them, and they were both this like yellow, just like my
they're
Super
all
Nintendo.
yellow. Those things yellow out.
The Dreamcast did that, so
It can be smoking in a house. It could be direct sunlight. Can cause it. It could be whatever model Super Nintendo or whatever system you have. Some of the what do you call it? Some of them just emit like I forget what it's called that basically yellows it from the inside out.
yeah, I was surprised the
There's a lot of
inside.
factors.
The inside of the bottom shell was just as bad as the outside. It was 100% saturated. It's like there's no way this is going to. There's no way this is going to look.
That's probably a product of the model you have. I think some of the older model Super Nintendos.
Yeah, mine's
it has something to do with the power and how it emits something. I can't
Yeah.
think of the freaking word.
mine has the
the board
audio,
itself.
the separate audio chip that disconnects. It's like a separate circuit board. And then I was watching a teardown, and I was like, that is not even close to mine. It only had 2 screws holding down the heat shield. Mine had 6, and I'm like, how do I get this thing off? You have to disconnect the sound chip. It like has like just like a press down connector. I had to pull that thing up to get the motherboard out. And I'm like, I thought I bought mine. I thought I got this like years later, but now I'm thinking of it. I think I got it the Christmas after. The second Christmas after the Super Nintendo released is when I got it. Now that I figured that out, I thought it was like years, 3-4 years, but no, it was.
Well, mine's I think the 001. I think that's the first model.
Yeah, mine's. I
That's
don't know if they
that's-
changed
'cause
the.
I don't think I got. When did you get yours?
I think it was Christmas of '92.
Yeah, I was gonna didn't get mine until me too. I was a Sega kid. Had Genesis first.
But the only there was one. I don't know if the rubber foot was missing already or it dissolved. I don't think it dissolved. I didn't realize it was missing a rubber foot, so I gotta figure something out there. But other than that, I
Well,
mean,
the rubber feet are only on the front, yeah.
no, this has 4 bottom on the.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine does not. Let me see. Oh, so yours is. Oh, is that different, or am I just missing rubber feet?
Do you have the holes for them?
Because there's like, yeah, but they're like a weird kind of.
Yeah, that's a different. That's definitely a revision
different.
there. And then
There you go.
I went to the CD Exchange. It's the only place around me that has any kind of used old games, and they had an actual Famicom, and it was great. It wasn't decolored. It was.
How far was it from you? Because there's nothing around it that has like
It's like 5
some
minutes.
like retro. Yeah. That's like with retro. Well, I guess
That's
not
the
anymore, but
only
Retro
place.
we were able to walk, and he had like multiple stores of just full on retro stores. And I'm like, how the hell is this even a thing?
We
Doesn't
don't do that here, apparently.
At first, I was like,
So weird.
is that a U.S. Famicom? She's like, there's no such thing as a U.S. Famicom. I was like, well, is it the U.S. version where they the redesign? She's like, no, that was the mini. I was like, I don't remember it being called the mini, but she works there. I'll take her word for
Oh,
it.
the top load. Oh, NES. It's
No, the Super Nintendo.
oh,
They had a Super Famicom. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
you're saying Famicom. That was throwing me off.
yeah. And I was like, was that the revision? No, she's like, no, that's the Famicom. I was like, well, does it work with like the regular the US Super Nintendo Power? She's like, no, only works with Famicom. I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but I'm curious. But I know those were 50 hertz though. Like those are all set to 50 hertz.
Well, no, but I think like literally
Wait.
where the way you insert it is different. Like you can't. That's why they have like.
Well, a
it
different
doesn't- that's why
cartridge,
they're not
too.
Yeah,
compatible.
that's the only difference.
That's
That's
why
the
they're
only
not
between
compatible.
the Super Nintendo and the Super Famicom is
Yeah.
the cartridge slot.
But I was
just
wondering if the
blocks it. It
power
will work.
adapter would work, and it was only
I
$60.
have a Japanese.
Yeah.
I have
The
a Japanese power
adapter
adapter in my. It's the same. That's why their games are compatible because the outage or output.
But you
is
have to,
similar.
like- you have to, like-
it's the same.
Well, you
Cut
probably
it
need
to-
a
have to,
converter or
like, cut a
something, do you?
piece.
Like a volt converter? Does it just
No,
no?
Uh,
I don't need. I don't use a volt converter on mine. I just plug it in. It works.
Because I was thinking, I don't know if it worked. She spent 20 minutes trying to
I
get
think
that.
when you're doing European bills, that's when you need voltage converters.
But I
and
think
have
it'd just be
one.
cool to have, like for $60. I was like, shit, if it works, even if it don't work, it's still.
yeah.
There was a
Uh-huh.
design flaw with those, if I remember correctly. There was like the power button had issues. It got loose. When you press power, like it would turn on, but then if the little button slightly went down a little bit, power off. And I remember I had one. I fucking sold that bit. I was like, this is trash.
You know, and I never.
Because they, that's
Something I didn't know the Super Nintendo did is when you hit the power, it actually engages a lock on the cartridge. I only know that because I just took it apart, put the system back together. I never.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I never tried to take
Yeah.
one out, but I just.
When you're
I bet that
when you're a
pansy
kid-
ass European one doesn't do that. It's only for the big boy.
Oh shit! I haven't had the chat up.
when you're a kid, you do that sometimes.
I do like the look of the Super Famicom though.
Oh no, I love it. I think it looks cool.
Oh, Mr. True, yeah,
But I don't dislike the look of this. I love these.
yeah. I mean, now
It has
mine
this
looks
kind of-
good. I do like it. But yeah, Mr.
Industrial. It has like an industrial look to it. That's what I like about it. It has like 80s industrial look.
Mr. True said to add more solder to the. Oh, I tried that. Didn't help. I was like, well, I'll add some new solder. It melted right on there, and then maybe that'll help. And now I can't get that off. Now that won't melt again. So I don't. I'm just.
Do you use a wick?
Yeah. Well, I can't. I can't even get it to liquefy the solder on that to use the wick.
That's
I
odd.
and I just put more solder on. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll just add some fresh solder. It melted right on. And then I put the iron on. I held it for 10 seconds and it wouldn't re-liquefy. I'm like, what? All right, I'm done. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to reevaluate it. I was
You got a miniature T1000 trolling you inside of you.
like I said, the other one came right out within freaking 2 minutes. I had it out.
This shit.
And Amazon just dropped off the new capacitor so I can get that installed, but I still can't get the other one out. So anyway, it gives me something to do, and I actually bought an NES game today. I bought Mario and Duck Hunt, pretty good shape. Took the girl forever to get it, to get the NES working so I could see that the game worked, because I need a known working game to test. And when I get this thing, I can't have a question mark on if the game works. Yeah, it's quite the what do you call it, renaissance for me. I got my GameCube sitting here. I was playing last night. I played NFL 2K3 for like until midnight.
Nice.
NFL 2K3.
I was
Wow.
the Lions
That's
against the
scary.
Bucks, and no matter, I kept it close. And then Joey Harrington threw a couple interceptions, and then I couldn't stop
Joey Heron.
I couldn't stop the frickin' Mike Allstott, and I'm like, all right, I'm only 6 points down. If I get a stop here
A-Train, baby.
on third down, the frickin' dude just runs for 30 yards. I'm like,
He
fuck.
just
Breaking
bowled
tackles. That clip earlier
You showed
was
that clip, I was dying.
that was from I was just trying to get reacclimated to the game. After I figured out things, I restarted because I was getting my ass kicked. But I'm like, I was playing full simulation. Like I'm trying to, set up the run so I can do the pass off the run, and trying to call different plays that aren't predictable. And I mean, I was marching down the field for the most part with the 32nd ranked team in the freaking game, the worst team in the whole game. And I'm like, this is football sim. I feel like I'm managing a football game. Like, it's legit. It's no bullshit. The animations before the play starts, I just barely press up on the stick on defense, and he's like backing away. Then you go to he's back. Everything just looks right. I mean, it came out in 2002, and the animations are phenomenal. I mean, yeah, there's some dated aspects of it. There's some jank here and there, but the announcing feels.
I still play Madden 3, so.
I got a Madden 2004. I'm gonna check that out and see how it compares to 2K3.
That's Mike Vick on the cover, right?
Yeah, true. I had a bunch of flux on there. I might have to plunge and buy a solder sucker, but either way.
So Super Famicom versus Super Nintendo. Yeah. So if you look here, I don't know why I didn't do it. There's no divot on the back of Super Famicom card, right?
And it's curved in the front
on the back of this.
Yep.
Yeah. The curvature is fine. You can get around that. That's not a problem. Problem is, you can't put Super Nintendo games because he has like an extra.
Yep.
2 extra.
It's just like the DS to 3DS.
Into the Super Famicom. Super Famicom is just that one board. So. But you can put Super Famicom into, because I do it. I'm doing it right now. Actually, this one doesn't have. I have another Super Nintendo that has a mod, but it will go down. It's just little divots. Can't see it here probably. It's gonna be too hard to see. But it's too little. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it, too much shadow. But too little is what's blocking the game from going all the way down.
That's what I was saying. I know people are saying they cut it off or they remove something. That
You can those. I have one where I use my solder iron and I just melted them down.
I seen a guy using solder iron and chunks of ABS plastic to do plastic repair, and I was like, dang, that probably wrecks your tip.
It's
but
clever.
So I got the Famicom 64 too. I got that out. I haven't turned it on yet, but pretty clean.
64.
Pretty clean looking. Got the old RAM
There's
expansion.
no such thing.
I know. And yeah, I got all my old system. What spawned this was I bought a composite to HDMI converter. It's like, oh, I can hook all these up because I don't have a single device in my. I think my receiver, my theater room, I could hook up a composite, and then I'd have to. And then I'd go to the projector. I think it would convert it for me to HDMI. I didn't test it though, but yeah, I had a 2019 OLED TV, and it had a little AV in. You plug in a little connector, and it lets you connect the stereo cables. I just assumed my new TV had it, so I'm looking for the port. Where the fuck is it? Nope, they don't have them anymore. So I get it. It's not going to be something you're going to, buy a TV of that caliber. They're probably not expecting someone to hook composite video up to it, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have. But
yeah.
And then the GameCube looks
you have one
terrible through that though, because I was used to the component out. That's how I always played GameCube. What's that?
You have one of those anymore?
Nope.
I do actually. I have in there.
I traded it in.
It's not mine. It's actually not mine though. It was a hand-me-down from
GameStop. Had they gave for the 3DS. Was it $50 or $60 for a DS? I was like, damn, that's basically what you could sell it for. And so I traded in to get my 3DS.
Yeah, but that's why
because of this.
Because it has the Game Boy slot. I didn't think about
Game
that.
Boy slot.
See that DS, man. These DS is why they sell so well. Well, they sold so well is that it was my stepdad's mom that bought a DS, and when I mean she plays literally 0 games, she bought it for like Brain Age.
Nintendogs and Brain Age were very popular.
Nintendogs was stupid popular. My goodness.
Crazy.
I just watched E3 2004. Maybe it was 2005 when they went over like Nintendogs, and it was they had the girl from G4TV .com, the show. She came up and did like I can't remember her name. She came up and did like a demonstration and like Miyamoto's dog popped in.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This shit was super cheese.
I had the girlfriend that was living with me. I don't know if I bought it for her. Or she had a pink DS and got Nintendogs, and she was playing Animal Crossing, Nintendogs, and Brain Age. That's all she played. She never.
Well, they went all in on the female market.
I think they got. She got a
DS.
Princess Peach game on there too. What was that one called? On the DS.
Super Princess Peach.
Yeah, Super Princess Peach.
Yeah, she had that as well.
The best Mario game on DS.
I said that when I played on it for backlog. I prefer it over New Super Mario Brothers. I think it's a really
totally
good game.
do.
Yeah. I actually don't
Really
know if I
good
played
partner.
it. So here's a launch day.
Really
64
clever.
controller. The analog
How's that
stick's a
stick?
little bit. It's decent. I mean, it stays in center. But God, is that slippery? I always had to lick my thumb and like get some friction.
Ew, really?
Yeah, it's just so slippery.
Will remind me to not touch your N64 controller.
All right. I'll bring my own.
But this had a good D-pad. It's a little.
Mine's
This
not
is a little
launched, but
spongy, but I was playing
Yeah,
GameCube.
my N64 controllers are good.
That GameCube D-pad is
Yeah.
fucking trash. How did they? What made them?
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's
play
weird.
Resident Evil freaking remake, and I'm like, the analog stick, I couldn't run in a straight line, so I had to use the D-pad.
Actually, I don't have one right now. I was gonna say, I think so.
Oh, you got it?
It's the size of the Game Boy Advance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did they just
I think it
cheap
is.
out and save money? Where's my Game Boy Advance? I don't know where it is right now.
I mean, it looks
Um,
all right here, but God, is
'Cause
it
I remember
so
thinking that
small?
one time. I was like, did they just cheap out and just use Game Boy's D-pad for this?
They
thing?
did.
No,
So we
I
can
don't.
save
I
money?
don't think so because I feel like the GameCube one is like too far out. Like it sticks out. Like it's bigger. Like it's bigger for some reason, and that's what makes it feel so
No,
weird
it's
to me.
definitely. I just meant like the molding.
Oh,
Just the molding. I
yeah.
think is similar.
I think if it was
it's not.
flat,
It's not the D-pad. It's just this shit's like this fucking thick.
yeah. Well,
not
if
the
it was
same
a
D-pad,
flat
but I'm-
D-pad, I think it would be fine. Like if it was a flat D-pad, it would actually be fine.
It's just too small.
Yeah.
It's tiny, and like, yeah. It's,
Yeah, I
it's
don't know
too
what they're
tiny.
thinking.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
it's
just
pretty-
pressing it
basically
just
what it
now,
was.
it like just digs in.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, how many games used the D-pad for the GameCube? I don't really know. Not
Even
many,
if
which
it's-
is weird. I guess, but
But if
I
you
mean,
went Game Boy Player and you're trying to play Game Boy games, use this fucking
Mm.
D-pad. Fuck you.
You know what
Yeah,
else?
right.
That's true.
I was playing Burnout, and I was like, maybe that's why Nintendo got rid of analog triggers. My freaking fingers were getting so fatigued from holding this trigger all the time. Like, I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Maybe this controller just always been a little cramped for me, but I was like,
Really?
man,
I
I'm
think
racing,
so.
and I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I want to do another 4 races.
Yes.
Like my fingers sore from holding this damn trigger.
No
Really?
way.
But the
No
biggest problem
way.
with this is like the grips aren't long enough. My freaking pinkies they got nowhere to go, and I just
Really?
Yeah.
It's
that
weird
part-
because
that
the
part I'll
original
agree.
grips were long.
yeah.
Like,
I disagree though. I feel like this bitch feels so good in my hand.
Nah, need
Yeah.
more girth.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the original Xbox.
I mean,
Controller.
the Wave Bird wasn't too bad either.
The Duke.
I'd rather the
Man,
big
so you'd
old
rather have the Duke.
thick Xbox controller versus this thing.
The big.
And
thick
I
black-
constantly have to look down because I'm like,
Fuck.
where is X? X is freaking over to the right. It just
That's the thing about this controller. You don't have to look down. That's BS. It's like this was built for you not having to look down.
well,
You
when I'm
just
watching, when I'm
like-
looking at the routes of my receivers, I'm like, why X? Which one's which? Like, I'm like, no, that's X.
Well, you might say that, but there's no way when the GameCube came out you were.
Oh
thinking,
no, I
"Oh,
just
man,
meant
it was
now
known."
because I'm like,
Oh, okay,
X is
okay.
above A button, so I'm constantly I hit Y multiple times trying to go to the
Mm.
X receiver. I mean, I was
Isn't it different on today's controllers?
the X is above and Y is to the left of the A, I
X
believe.
is above, right? And that's what throws me off because I'm thinking GameCube controls. So
And then
I
the
always get
Super
thrown
Nintendo's
off.
different, where A
Mhm.
and B I think are different on the new controllers. So Like B's
Yeah,
the
they
bottom
went to
button.
the traditional,
No,
the quote
No,
unquote.
it's still the same. It's
No,
just
no.
an-
A's
Yeah, it's
A's
still the
not the
same.
far, is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
you're
thinking
It's just
Xbox,
a
you're
little
thinking
more.
Xbox.
It's just a little more.
They
buttons
No, you
are.
think-
yeah,
Xbox.
they
You're thinking
tilted it
Xbox.
more in a diamond shape than in that like
I was
long.
gonna
You're
say
thinking
Nintendo
Xbox.
stuck with their BA.
Yeah.
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 I know Xbox flipped
That's
it,
Xbox. Shit.
but I feel like this still. Maybe it's just because they're spaced out differently.
Well, Nintendo technically flipped it because
It's diamond out.
it should be A B.
Yeah, and the NES A
right?
is the left button.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying they're the ones who technically
Mhm.
flipped it because why would you put the B second or first, you put it second?
As the
Well, I guess
primary.
it depends on if
But-
you viewing it top down or bottom up. Bottom, you know.
You know what else is crazy? The inside of this shell says yellow, blue, green, whatever. It says the Famicom colors
Oh yeah.
for the
Really?
so you
Oh,
know where
really?
the
I know.
yeah.
That's cool.
So they'd use the same shell, but for whatever reason they went with the purple color, which to this day, I
I was
mean,
gonna say I have a Famicom controller, or maybe it's a third party that has the colored buttons.
Hmm.
Does the
Oh.
does Super Famicom have colored buttons?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it
Stop.
the one that came?
Yeah.
with
Colored,
the-
right?
the
Yeah.
different- but-
I thought that's the
Yeah.
one that started all the colors.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we do have a question that we could we talked about a little bit last week, but Artisan wants to know if we're getting a Switch 1 Direct this week. I said it last week. I think no way. There's no way.
Oh boy. Well, this week, as you could just say this month. To be fair. I mean,
Yeah.
You think you're
I
gonna get
don't
one this
know.
month?
I think they should. I think we should.
The
don't know.
only direct that I still think that we're probably gonna get is Pokemon.
I
Well,
think-
that's a given. That's the Pokemon Presents. They do that every year.
Have they
It's in
confirmed that?
February.
You,
No, I don't think.
I guess they
confirmed it.
technically haven't, but I mean, they do it every year.
you mean before Switch 2?
I think the only thing you're gonna get is Xenoblade Chronicles X, maybe a overview trailer, and then a launch trailer. And then if there is a Pokemon Direct, it'll have the release date of the Pokemon ZA.
The Legend
Yeah,
ZA.
ZA. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think, I mean, you think that this shit ain't coming till November, so you're saying, don't you think that they would have a Switch
Well, yeah.
Direct?
I guess
You know,
there might be a
But
Switch
maybe not.
Direct.
Maybe
No,
not.
not
just this
before
month.
the Switch 2 though. If they could just do one a summer Direct that features Switch 1, Switch 2. I mean,
I guess now that'd be
They better
confusing.
run
Now you're
fast.
including. Now
Yeah.
it's like.
well, it's just like watching the state of play, and they're like, what game was it? It's like Shinobi. It just said PS4 at the end.
PS4 and PS.
Just
Oh, it
PS4,
didn't say PS5.
which means
Oh,
it's
okay.
PS5, but it's
Yeah,
just only PS4 like
Backwards compatible.
physical backwards
Or well,
compatible.
no, I mean they might do like enhancements or something. Who knows?
I don't think so. With a game like that, you're just playing the PS4 version either way.
Well, you'd be playing the PS4 Pro version probably technically.
I don't even know. I honestly do. I wonder if companies even think about the PS4 Pro
Well,
when
I'm
they
thinking
develop
'cause the
games.
PS4 's not, well, because the PS4 is
Oh.
not doing 4K, but we know that game will run at 4K on the PS5. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's it. That's crazy. I haven't thought about that in 5 years. When they release all these cross-gen games, do they still have to do a PS4 Pro
PS4 Pro.
enhancement for? I don't
Um,
think Digital Foundry's covered any of these games have
I don't
ever
know.
covered a PS4 Pro.
I don't know.
You think
I'm not sure.
the cross-gen games are actually PS4 Pro versions that they just slap PS5 on?
Maybe I don't.
It's I
I'm not
never
sure.
thought about it, to be honest.
It's most likely, but
Because
Because
there
they're
was
not,
Honestly, the
they're,
case.
they're not gonna have that game running at 1080p in the
the
PS5.
PS4
you know what I mean?
Pro was twice as
No.
powerful, like GPU wise. It could do a higher resolutions and stuff. So it's
Yeah,
I'm
1440.
curious if they even have to consider that. But
J Biggs wanted a shadow drop of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 during the regular Switch Direct. Honestly, look, I'm sorry, J Biggs, but I
That's a
don't care
tall
about old
task.
games, man. I don't.
Plus,
care.
we
I have
already-
no desire for any
Yeah,
old
and
games.
here's the thing: what do you do with Prime 3?
yeah,
You know, like what do you
Well,
do?
you
with
can
that?
still do the Joy-Con stuff.
Yeah, it's still
How?
possible.
What do you
some
mean?
of the
Yeah, but-
functions they'd have to just maybe put
Well,
to a
what do you
button.
do?
What do you do when you do a handheld mode?
No, well, I mean, hey,
Well, you
they
can
took
just use the
Skyward Sword,
gyro.
right?
Right.
You can still use the Joy-Con.
You
for
can just
handheld.
use the gyro, but some of the other things where you flung the nunchuck,
Well,
they'd have to make it a button.
Yeah, you just flick the analog stick instead. Unfortunately, it's not
Oh,
gonna be
that's-
as it's not gonna be as cool.
Or you
Ass.
just put it in tabletop
Ass.
and you
I
call
agree.
it
I
good.
think just
But-
press a button. for.
You
Maybe,
just
but
put it in tabletop and you call it.
Those
good.
people go for Sky Sword HD talking about that analog stick is better than get out of here. Get out of here.
You
with
know,
that,
I was
No way.
considering buying all the Zelda games because I picked up Link's Awakening the other day. I haven't opened it yet. Probably I'm gonna save it. I think for maybe we'll see what the Switch 2's first year looks like. Maybe I won't
Oh,
save
you
it.
talking about the remake?
I got Link's
You got the remake?
Awakening, yeah. And I was like, man, if I get Skyward Sword out, I think I'll have all the Zelda games. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do those damn analog controls and.
Skyward Sword is not. I'm sorry, it's not a good game. I don't like it.
Oh, whoa, holy
I'm
shit. That's
sorry.
not even.
It's a good
Story-wise,
game, but
Story-wise,
It's a good game, but it has some-
it has some
Gaping
big
flaws.
annoyances, like a lot of the tracing your steps stuff, like
Yeah.
going back
me
to-
every time.
the Elden Volcano area. I absolutely hate that area. It's so like
Hate that.
tedious to get through. You can't. There's just not a simple path. You can't just open up like an easy path at the end. I don't. Or if you do, you don't. I don't remember it. And then it's like, oh, you got to go back there because there's something else you need to get now. And I'm like, I got to go back there. Fuck. But there's some
And I
really
don't-
cool
to
stuff.
me, I mean, some people don't care. I don't think tier chase
that too.
sequences.
It
They
ain't
got super
worth
tedious. To
But
me
you know what
after-
was
after
cool
a
was
while.
that area that was completely underwater initially, and then
That was cool. Yes.
had a lot of good underwater.
Or the and
Oh, the
shit,
time
that
shifting.
was
Yeah,
a
that
cool
was.
sequence.
That's
The time
still.
shifting. That was
I don't know if
that's
any other
amazing.
game has done something quite to that level. Maybe they have, but that was
amazing. That was super clever.
especially the
love
one
that.
where it's you're in a bubble of it being like the past, and then you're seeing just
You're
the
in the
desert
bubble.
in
Yeah,
front of
that's
you.
so cool.
Shit was amazing.
That was cool.
Has some really cool elements, but
I'll just watch
One
it.
day I'll
But
play
I got tired of beating up toes. I got tired of beating
and the
up
flying,
monster
there wasn't a
toes.
lot in the sky, just kind of like Tears of the Kingdom. The sky
It
area
was very bare bones. That sky. I was expecting a lot more up there. It was
One day-
cool up there, especially when you go through that one little. What is it? I'm trying to remember. I haven't played it.
I
In
remember
so
you
long.
fight a whale.
You go
like
through that
flying-
one little. Yeah, that flying feature in that extra area. Like that was cool, but that was the only thing that was memorable up there. There's a lot of empty, tiny islands that have much on. I wouldn't compare it to Tears. I think Tears is way better. Sky Islands, and
You know,
So,
I've had
even
this.
if you scale it,
I don't know if I've ever noticed this. I don't know if this was a Toys R Us specific thing, but it has the actual pickup date. You can't
holy
see-
Toledo! Look at that box.
927
Good ass money.
927.96. When did it launch? 929.
More than a console.
Yeah.
I picked it up on
Yeah.
the 27th. I never noticed this.
Okay, yeah, it was around that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got it.
trying to
I got it
remember
on the
launch date.
Friday, and it released on a Sunday. I got it the
That
Friday
box is
before.
worth more than the console.
It's a
Yeah,
little
that's a good.
beat up here. It's got crease.
I mean,
Yeah, you
very
got a
little,
crease
but like
there, but
compared
still,
to
that's-
everything else.
But if you saw
It's
the,
still got
I mean,
shine
obviously-
on it. It's shining.
Yeah.
T was here. You took some
I gotta
photos. I
compare.
don't know
I
if
gotta
you
look at
ever. I don't know if you ever
Oh yeah,
uploaded those.
some of that stuff got corrupted though, man. I looked at it and I was like, oh shit.
But this is probably even the more impressive. This styrofoam's almost a few
Yeah.
little problems.
This styrofoam nice.
I gotta compare
Styrofoam
and
is
contrast.
untouched.
Couple of
little
dings
jelly.
there.
But you don't have one of these. See, you don't have a
See, does yours have
plastic
that
protector.
in the upper right corner in the back that where it said where they had to tear something off?
Yeah.
Or-
They all have that.
Okay, I never noticed that before.
What is it?
Yeah, this isn't my original box.
What do you have to tear off?
It looks like there was some kind of
This one
warranty
says-
thing that they tore off when you picked it up, because like
Oh, they tore it off.
see
tear
the
that
it's
off,
got
man.
the bottom and the top,
Oh, yeah.
and then there was a piece of paper there in between.
Oh wait a minute, I don't have the. It got ripped off.
Dang.
Yeah. Talking about
Make sure you
Yeah.
don't,
Yes.
make sure it wasn't stolen.
Does yours say the date that they picked theirs up?
Oh, it has a date. This one is 12/22/96. So it's wow, right before Christmas.
Yeah, somebody
Something
did
like that.
last minute shopping there.
Wow.
The
And they
fun
weren't easy to find
machine.
either. Oh.
The fun machine. Why did they call it that?
Well,
I like this box.
that's what
My
it says.
box is
That's what it's
15
called.
as well.
Yeah, it's the
Fun
fun
Machine.
machine.
It says right there.
The fun machine. Really?
That's
I
the
didn't-
best
I
they
didn't
could
know
come
Fun
up
Machine-
with.
That's an insane.
State of art
Well, I
3D
mean-
3D graphics and it's the
They
fun
could've-
machine.
They
You could've
could've
just said,
put the
Well,
3D
they're
was
playing
here.
up the 4-player. They're playing the 4-player aspect. Nobody else had that, so.
Or
gonna
Nintendo
put-
64,
And
the
say
Ultra,
four
the
player
Ultra
action.
64.
Say like 4-player
The
action
Ultra 64.
instead of the
Well,
fun
this
machine.
was the first box, and I don't think there weren't a lot of games that were 4-player when it first came out. Anyway,
Well, I'm looking right now. I see one that's pretty damn good condition for $145. Just the box.
the box. That's it. Does it at least have the stuff side, styrofoam?
It has styrofoam in there, yeah,
Okay, well that's good.
with styrofoam.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
With
I
styrofoam.
I don't think I noticed this before. Yeah, I can see the little grating on the little
Mm-hmm.
thing there.
If
Yeah.
I don't think I can get a sticker off, I'm not gonna risk it. I'll leave it on. But
Yeah, me neither.
I made that mistake on I forget what it was, and I was like, fuck. But
I just leave it on.
just to finish up I don't think they're gonna announce any new Switch 1 games like in a
No.
special
Well-
presentation. They might just say
at the Switch 2 presentation.
I just mean like have like you might get a trailer for something, but I don't think they're gonna put together like, oh, here's a bunch of Switch 1 games coming out. That's just why I don't think the direct's gonna happen. And I also don't know if
Well, if they just say playable on Switch 2, that's all you got to do.
yeah, I think they gotta wait
all
till
you
we
gotta
know
do.
more about the Switch 2 before they're gonna reveal anything that I don't know. If you were Nintendo, the
Well, they
Switch
already revealed that it's backwards compatible.
the
so
Switch
I
2
don't-
comes out or Switch 2's coming, you have your presentation. Yeah, you'll have maybe we'll know more once we know if it has like enhancements automatically, like it just seems weird to like put out a brand new game for the Switch 1, not a port or a remake, that's what
Okay.
like a brand new with Pokemon Black and White situation where the 3DS
Well,
was
yeah,
out.
right now Legends Z8.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm talking
I
about
guess
after what we already
after
know.
these-
I don't see another
I mean,
brand new, non-old port remastered game coming to the Switch 1 from Nintendo.
yeah, I mean, well, shit, yeah. I mean,
Because what would you put at? I mean, what scale game would it? You wouldn't put Splatoon 4 on the Switch 1 at this point. Like,
nah.
maybe
Yeah,
I'm sure they love those Mario Kart 8 sales, but at the same time, it also showed them like, that's probably a fluke. Hopefully, they don't think they're going to try to repeat that. But at the same time, then it's made them realize, well, we don't need to put in Mario Kart 9 or 10. Mario Kart 8 just keeps selling.
yeah.
So
It was interesting going back to that podcast, listening to us talk about Mario Kart
Yeah.
8 Deluxe.
I thought Mario Kart.
And I was spot on, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, it ain't happening. You ain't getting no 9 on this console.
That's how I was saying.
When
Yeah,
have you
'cause I
ever
was,
had more than one Mario Kart per console? I was like, never. And you still haven't.
I was like, I said that, I made a video, and that's what sparked that discussion was how will Mario Kart 9 affect Mario Kart 8 or how will Mario Kart 8 Deluxe affect Mario Kart 9? And then Juice was like, oh, he's like, I never thought about it that way. Then we had this big discussion about it.
Because
And
I
it
was
was-
getting a lot of pushback from certain people of the essence. I was getting pushback about Mario Kart 9 not now. So this is not gonna happen, bro. Trust me, it's not happening.
I remember
And,
thinking that
resources.
8 Deluxe, 4 to 5 million, but I just assumed Mario Kart 9 would get announced in like 2 years,
Yeah.
and then the sales of
Yeah.
8 would just would stop. But
Yeah, but think about that. It's like in 2 years. So you didn't think it was going to even sell like 5 million within 2 years. So it just.
well, I don't
grew
know
right
what
as-
it sold in the first 2 years, but I'm sure it was more than 5.
No, but in the
It's
first.
fucking stupid.
No, in the first week, it did it, or yeah, I think it was the first week. It did like almost 2 million or some crazy thing.
oh,
And we
yeah.
were like, and it was that next podcast we were like, Well, I was definitely wrong about that.
I mean, who knows what they were expecting? Maybe like, well,
See, we were in such a bubble.
There's
It's
no
like,
way they're.
well, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Well, who else needs that game?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Right.
There's only it sold what 8 copies on Wii U,
yeah.
8 million.
and, which is phenomenal. That's
Yeah.
crazy number on that install base. But at the end of the day, it was only 8 million copies on the Wii U, which a lot of people did not buy. So
Yeah.
Nintendo was not stupid to do that. And I maintain my integrity. I said I'm not buying any of these goddamn ports. The only reason I'm buying Mario Kart Deluxe is because of that battle mode. We
Mhm.
finally got in a real battle mode, and they actually added something.
And
like
we ended
the
up getting
item
DLC
system.
for it. You know, we ended up getting.
And we got
awesome
DLC for it. And they're gonna get DLC for
And
it.
that's why I
But
sold.
because we didn't know that it was gonna sell what it
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah.
So
I sold my copy because I felt like I needed to stand on my principle of saying that I was
Yeah.
against all these ports, and that's the one I should have kept.
no, I said it right away. I was like, this is the one exception. I'm buying nothing else. But because of that battle mode, because that opens the game up huge for me, especially for me, is battling online. I mean, it was garbage on Mario Kart 8. It's just
That's funny.
running around the same tracks.
I think I said I was
It's
gonna buy Xenoblade, and that is actually the first port from the Wii U that I picked up.
No
Yeah.
way.
And at-
Really?
and at this
Yeah.
point, that's the second one for me because I'm definitely gonna get that.
Hold on. So you don't have
At this point, does it even matter anymore? Who cares? No one cares anymore.
Damn.
They're Switch
no, I
games
mean,
now.
like, yeah. I mean, in the end of
Yeah,
the day,
they're
like,
Switch games at this point.
you know, this generation has been so incredible that it's like and especially towards the end, give them whatever the hell they want to. Like they have 2 Xenoblades out, so yeah, you release the Xenoblade X, whatever. You have an amazing 3D Mario. So they put 3D World Bowser Fury was awesome, but then you have you got like Pikmin 4.
Yeah, and even that is fire.
That's
you
what I'm
got the
saying.
price,
That's
but-
like Pikmin 4 you have, and then they released
That's what
Pikmin
we always
3.
said. That was always like, give us a new game. I'll accept Bayonetta 1 and 2 because we know Bayonetta 3 is coming out. I'm sure
Exactly.
you'll get to a podcast
Mhm.
coming up where we were saying stuff like that. And it's like, I don't mind that,
Yeah.
but Tropical Freeze, all we got was another older game. Like,
Yeah, that sucks. That
And
still
it costs
sucks.
more than the original one cost.
both of
Yeah.
them.
Charge $10 more for that.
Both the
version.
Donkey Kong
Fuck outta
games
here with
cost
that.
more than the original versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made
That
this
sucks.
joke. I made this joke about
What about?
about Mario Kart, because we were talking about Sonic Racing, and I'm like, man, Donkey Kong. It's like he goes to Mario and is like, bruh, like we doing it over here. Like, can I finally get my guy Diddy in here? And he's like, no Diddy guy.
No Diddy.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Damn. Poor Diddy Kong, man. It ain't his fault.
And Donkey
It
turns
ain't
around,
his
is
fault. He
like,
was Diddy before Diddy. That's not
Yeah.
fair.
Donkey's
Yeah.
like, well,
He need to go
guess you
back
just
to
gonna have to sit in
was
the
it?
car. I'm about to go race.
Go back to Puff Daddy. You know, that you
Yeah.
ruined the Diddy name. That's not cool.
I just
never
wondered.
thought that. I never
Yeah.
once thought about Diddy Kong and he
Oh, you never thought about that? I
No
bro, I
Diddy.
did always
Never.
think about
Not
that. Like,
once.
oh man,
I realized both the same name. I never even thought
yeah.
about that. God dang.
apparently,
Uh-huh.
apparently,
God
what Vito told me is that's where Diddy got his. That's where Biggie got Diddy's name from. It was originally Diddy, and he thought it was cool and turned it to Puff Daddy. But he originally got it from Diddy Kong. So he
I
was
can
calling
see
that dude
that.
a monkey the whole time.
hmm
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can see that because Biggie was a Super Nintendo fan. So he was
It's
Crazy.
Sega Genesis. When I was dead, man, I couldn't pick this.
I just
I did
would.
see a video.
Yeah,
I saw a video on
that's
that.
crazy.
And I was like, I don't know if
Like,
that's
it's
true,
Nintendo.
but hey,
Just now.
that'd be crazy.
It's so crazy it has to be true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's so silly it has to be true. It's like when he got sued. Maria Zig got sued by a rapper named Biggie Smalls. There was a rapper named Biggie Smalls back in that day. It was a skinny little white kid, And he sued. He threatened this, basically bringing Biggie down. It's like, so excuse me, Notorious Big at the time said, you can't call me Biggie Smalls anymore. You can call me Big B.I.G. Don't call me Biggie Smalls anymore.
That's
Because
funny.
this little rapper dude is gonna sue him. Look it up. I don't remember the guy.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, he threatened to sue Biggie. I was like, oh, that's funny. And his rap was terrible. And so
I wonder if
funny little story.
if Nintendo was thinking now Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will just get us by a couple years till the next game. Well, they'll never know. They'll never know. They'll never
Yeah, I
say.
don't know.
That's what I feel like. Or they just said, this is a really good game. I think, it sold 8 million. I think it has the potential to be bigger and better. Let's just make this the Mario Kart game. And
I mean, realistically, it's Mario Kart 8 technically isn't trapped on the Switch. Like, as soon as you get a Switch 2, you can play that on the Switch as well. And Nintendo Switch
Oh man, I don't
Online
even want to think about that.
still allows you to play all the
Generate the
eight
Mario
games.
Kart 8. I've had enough.
That's for but hear me out though. That's for all the Smash heads who are like the best game is still stuck on the GameCube.
Yeah.
I wish that whole thing would die.
I tried
Like, what?
before I sold it.
I'm
I
so
played
sick
it.
of hearing that.
That game is so
Oh,
twitchy,
it's
man.
stuck on a-
Characters move so damn fast. But yeah, the whole stuck on a system thing that's annoying to me.
That was just called normal gaming. You buy a system and you move on to the next.
Not
system to buy new games with that
nothing
system.
stuck on the PS4. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even then,
Ooh.
everything's backwards compatible.
That's-
They still remaster
Yeah, there's-
everything. It's crazy.
I expected them to do ports just to have a PS5 version, just like some of their more recent games, but not to just keep doing it. But I mean, that's all they.
They go through the whole library. They really think it's not backwards compatible. They forgot. It's bizarre.
I see
weirdest
people
thing.
trying to break. I mean, I'm not expecting some vast improvement with these remastered versions. Like to me, it's just a native PS5 port of it. But
Enhancement. Yeah.
so I saw somebody trying to show a graphics comparison. I'm like, it's not a remake. Like it's just it's already they already did a patch for
It's a
PS5.
remaster.
They already did a PS5 patch for the original PS4 version. So it's running at 1440p, 60 FPS. Like, I mean,
These people know that you're saying this, but
but
they
but
they already know that. They're
people
making
debate
fun of
over.
the fact that
No, people were getting a little heated on a Twitter post about it.
What?
Like, look, it didn't do anything. I'm like, why? What's this? What are you expecting? It's a fucking remaster. It shouldn't even be.
Well,
but
It'd be
What are they charging
existing,
for it?
but
I think it's $49.99 if you don't already have the game, or it's
that's
$39.
surprising though. I thought it would be 70. Every single one has pretty much been 70 if you don't have the game. You know.
Now, look, I actually understand, especially, what is it called?
Days
Talking
Gone?
about the goddamn game. Yeah, I understand that game because the game didn't sell well, and people, oh, it sold like 8 million copies. Yeah, at $20. Like they're trying to re-up, and I totally understand it.
That's the one,
Yeah,
that
I don't-
give
I
a
don't
second
necessarily
chance.
agree with it.
But I don't think the PS5 is
Yeah.
gonna give any game a real second chance.
I don't know if it's gonna do any numbers for it.
I think,
but
and it already has
I
a PC
understand it.
version,
That's
so
right.
it's not like
yeah,
it's
it does
getting.
have
It's
a
a
piece.
lot of all the other ones were accompanied by a
Yeah,
PC
that's
release.
the one I
So it's
play.
like, oh, you're releasing a PC version. Let's just release a PS5 version. Whatever.
yeah, it makes more sense in that order, not put the PC game out and then go in and
But
enhance it
they
with
did
the-
add a couple new things, which they could have just patched in, I guess. But the horde the actual horde mode.
Yeah, it's some horde mode.
Where you don't have to like
Dead
go
mode.
around and try to find the horde and just have, because the horde's actually really fun. Like if you haven't
Yeah,
played the
I mean,
game,
yeah,
I
that's
I
a
still
synergy.
recommend the game, even it it
I
had
have to
some
finish it.
buggy issues on the PS4, but I don't know about
I'm
PC
only
and stuff.
20% probably.
It just has some weird, just knowing the development cycle where they kept getting like adding more to the game, and you can really feel that at a point. You like this whole other area, and you can't go back to the main starting area at all for like 10 hours of game, like literally 10 hours. You're like, man, I'd really like to go back. and you're stuck until you finish the story stuff, and then you go back, and then you can't go back to the area you just were. You can't get back there. So it's like that just feels really strange in an open world game, and I just feel like it never was going to be to that scale, and that was their only solution to adding all this new stuff. And the quest stuff just breaks sometimes when it's like I just completed the quest. I see the NPC character in this little, it's not a town, the little what were they called, like in all these zombie movies, just areas where they're safe areas, little communities. I see the person and I'm like, I completed the quest. Why aren't they telling me, like, giving me the reward? I have to get back on my bike, leave the area, and within 30 seconds of leaving the gate, I get a call on the radio. Hey, Deke, yeah, come see me when you get a chance. I got the, blah, blah, blah. And then you go right back, like, 30 seconds later, you're back where they are, and now you can talk to them and complete the quest. So it's just a little quirky stuff like that. And I don't know if they said quality of life improvements. I don't know if they've addressed any of that, but overall, I did enjoy the game.
And so. I wonder how many games are stuck on the Sega Master System. And they're just stuck on there, man. It's not fair. It's anti-consumer, as Donnie Arts points out.
I wish this franchise wasn't stuck in the grave because of frickin' EA and the 2K series.
Man.
But I don't know. It would have became what the NBA 2K series has become. It had just been a lazy cash grab.
Yeah, but at least I think the gameplay is still pretty awesome in NBA 2K. It's just all that other extra shit you got to deal with. All that slimy shit that they do that makes you not even care about the game.
Like when you just boot the game up,
have turned,
and it tries to like sell you,
throwing you all this shit in your face to sell. Yeah. The NBA 2K definitely would have done, or NFL 2K.
NBA 2K doesn't have any competition. Maybe if Madden and 2K could coexist, maybe they would have the competition between the two would have.
But it's true, NBA 2K, it's their own fault. They don't have the system, the license.
No, it's
locked
true.
Up. It's just that EA is just trash at making basketball games now for some reason. I think they're trying again this year. They're gonna try again. I think that's what I read. Good luck. I hope it. Well, I was gonna say I hope it does, but it's pretty garbage with all that sales shit too. So all that trying to sell you crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get through Madden and FC. So it's not gonna be good competition. I don't think.
So I am feeling a little bit
you want to come out with a game that's going to shun all that and say, haha, we don't need that stuff. Here's a great basketball game. That's what you want. But EA's not going to do that.
No.
Well,
they got to pay, to have the players' likenesses and stuff. And, I'm sure there's a lot of BS involved with whoever owns the rights. But at the same time, it's like, it must work. It must pay off.
Just make your own unlicensed basketball game. Because all the basketball players today are trash anyway.
Damn.
Donnie Arts brings up a good point.
As far as they play well, but their fucking work ethic is in the toilet, and so just make a really good basketball game with unlicensed players and unlicensed.
See, 2K tried that after the Madden took the NFL license, and I don't know if it was the next year or a couple years later. They just,
did they?
Yeah, it was an unlicensed one, and just not the same. I mean, it played the same, but it just
completely don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it released.
What was it called?
It's just like Pro Football 2K. I don't know what year. It would have been 6 or 7, probably, maybe even 8. Donnie just brought up a point.
Now I kind of remember that.
Valve banned a bunch of any game that tries to do ads in the game, like not just like I don't know what the extent is, if it's just like an ad for DLC or if it's just like legit ads for products. And Valve said nope, and so I forget what game or company was trying to do that. And gotta give Valve credit, man. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
And you got
they're the most pro gaming company out there, as far as I'm concerned, which is never a statement I would ever think I would make. But
What
they
streaming
are.
service now, the ad free, they said it's not guaranteed to not have ads depending on the content you're watching. It's not guaranteed. You're paying for
That
ad
would be
free, but they can't
That's crazy. I
control.
don't know.
Now, if you're paying for the ad free, but you're watching live TV, obviously you're gonna watch the ads. Like there's no getting around it. But
yeah.
if it's like a streaming show and you're watching ads, and there's no justification for that, unless they're gonna do some kind
Are
of
you watching the show? It should be.
Hmm?
So I was just while you're watching the show, there shouldn't be any fucking ads.
Yeah, but I'm wondering
You
if
can
they're
play ad
preparing.
before it and after it if you want.
I wonder if they're preparing for some new like having maybe live streamers or something on their service, because I don't know. It's just weird. Oh, Disney Plus said it was Disney Plus. I thought it was Prime. But if it's
Disney Plus doesn't have any ad. Well, I was gonna doesn't have
They
it.
have
Just
an
'cause
ad
I had
version.
the fucking expensive version. Yeah, I
it's
forgot
so
that.
jarring. You're sitting there watching, like getting into a movie or something, and it's like all of a sudden it cuts to a commercial break. I'm like, I lasted about 2 days with the ad
And
free.
I couldn't do it.
With the
I
no
couldn't
ads.
do it in the middle of a movie.
I mean, with the ad version, I got probably the next day. I was like, nah, I gotta get the ad free version. This is garbage.
maybe in a show, I could probably.
I don't mind it
bear
with the show
it.
as much, but
But
forget
a
about-
movie, fuck off.
yeah, just weird. Anyway, I was
So weird.
I'm a little
Tubi or some
I have a
shit.
little regret about selling a few of my GameCube games, like Soul Calibur 2. I kind of wish I had. I was actually like, which games did I keep? So I got mine out, and I kept Star Wars Rogue Leader and Burnout 2, and then both the Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4, and then I just have like Tiger Woods, NASCAR, Madden, and 2K, NFL 2K3, and I was like, yeah, I don't have a lot to play. I was thinking of buying an adapter for my GameCube for HDMI. I didn't know they had the ones just plug into the digital port. I didn't know that 2020, I don't know how prevalent they were when I sold all those games. Like, I'm never hooking my GameCube back up. I don't have the component cables anymore, and I just didn't even think about it.
Ayer's question: Nintendo has already done that. People got. I don't know. Was it free? I think it was free. Free to download, I think.
They
On the 3DS. The
What?
Real Deal Baseball or Rusty's
Oh yeah,
Baseball or
they
something.
had.
No, but I think he's
And,
talking about like a free to play online
Steel
game.
Diver.
Didn't they have?
Yeah.
They didn't
Well-
have a dive. Like was it Steel Diver?
Steel Diver. Yeah, it was Steel Diver that had like a.
Did they have
There's a
multiplayer?
version
I think
or
there's a few of those. I mean, yeah, Rusty's Real
remember.
Deal.
I was like, "What is this, Nintendo? Stop this!"
Rusty's Real Deal was
Well-
cool though. When what they
No,
executed.
Rusty's Real Deal was cool. What wasn't Wii Sports was on Wii U? Wasn't that like
No, that was
where
weird.
you had to buy stuff?
You had to buy.
You had to
You had to rent.
You had to
individually.
rent
was
it.
weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
Individual
Rent.
sports.
That was
Yeah, like game
strange.
passes. Or you could buy
Yeah.
like the whole package or something. It was some weird shit.
What was I
Okay,
just?
so
Oh,
Donnie R says, yeah, Steel
Steel
Diver
Diver
Subwars did
Subwars.
have multiplayer for
multiplayer.
free.
It does sound
Start
familiar.
doing-
Yeah.
Damn,
free
what
to
was I
start.
just gonna
What
bring
was
up?
the they say free to start. What was the there must have been something you had to pay for that. What was I mean, I don't know if
Yeah,
they're gonna do anything. I think they just like what they like to do is their Nintendo Online stuff, like the Mario 99 and the F-Zero
Mhm.
99. That's like the closest to free to play,
mean-
which is not really free to play, but it's also kind of in a way.
I
But
think they just dipped their toes and they didn't like they didn't like the outcome of it. So
Mhm.
they
and
said,
people
"Nah,
like
we'll
the
go back to doing
99
Nintendo
stuff,
shit."
so like today I think they'll continue
Yeah.
doing it. You know, I don't know why they removed the Mario 35. It makes no sense. It was cool, but like people like
Because the
it.
35-year anniversary was up.
Yeah, it's like that's it. We're done.
I mean,
It's
Nintendo
just
could,
stupid.
like Ayers just point out, Animal Crossing. They could make a shit ton of money on microtransaction.
They totally could.
Stuff for your house, stuff for your.
Did the
I'm glad they don't, but they
does
have a cell phone
the cell
version.
phone one have that?
Probably.
You talking about? Wait, you talking about PodCamp?
Is that the only? Is
Okay,
that
does
still
it
the
have,
only
like,
mobile one?
Microtransactions and shit?
For Animal Crossing, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they had with PodCamp they have a bunch of now they stopped it. They they literally just stopped it like a few months ago, and they put out a
Yeah.
offline version so you could play offline and whatever you had and bought. But there's no more. You can't. That's it. It's a one-time purchase. That's it. And then, but yeah, I mean that is a one that they could get away with a lot of microtransaction, but luckily they don't.
Yeah,
But
they could be making
they could
billions.
absolutely. Yeah, imagine like,
They could be
oh, you
making
could buy
stupid
Nuke
money
Mile
on that
tickets,
game.
you could buy this, you could buy that. People do that.
You know, Retro Death
offline.
would be in debt probably.
I mean, think about it. They literally have a. If you go on Nookazon, that's like a fan made Amazon for
Nookazon.
for
Yeah.
Animal Crossing items, and people will literally go and purchase stuff like now with real life money, but like they have a shop and people would absolutely spend some actual money for that stuff. You know, that's pretty crazy that they do. But that, hey, I give props to Nintendo for now because to be fair, their game sells 40 something million. They don't have to disrespect the consumers that
But-
way. You know.
Yeah.
That just means that would be more money.
That's 40 something million customers.
At some point, the shareholders are
money
probably
in.
going to win that argument and say, "Listen,
I don't know, man. I,
think
don't
they-
know.
well,
I don't know. I think
Nintendo move different. I don't think they have. I don't think they feel that pressure. At
Yeah,
least
they're
not
pretty
now
good at
because-
selling
From
them.
shareholder? No, not at all.
Yeah, because it doesn't cost them as much to make these games,
Yeah.
so they don't have that pressure. I don't think
No.
that Sony or Microsoft would have.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, with Sony and Microsoft, especially in the given situations that they're in, there's a whole lot of like, where's this? Where's that? When we gonna see this? When we gonna see that? And I think that's what kind of causes chaos and animosity. But it's funny because I feel like Nintendo's kind of in the opposite situation, where it's like, okay, we've seen, what patience does when you look at Mario Wonder and it sells the way that it sells. We've seen Breath of the Wild and the numbers that it comes up with. We've seen we've seen all these titles that you have, and knowing that the numbers are gonna come, don't worry. You know what I mean? Like we know the money's gonna
Yeah.
come in. Do we still
Yeah.
want our money? Yes. But do we know
course.
do we know that the money later down the line is gonna come? Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, it would be
I
a
think
quick."
it's better to
They
just be
believe that-
long term. Long term sales
It-
is better
That
than
evergreen. They like that evergreen stuff.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
But
not.
yeah,
I'm glad they're not
yeah.
doing it. But if the one franchise where I think they could get away with it the most would probably be Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were still selling 20 copies of Mario Kart Wii a year. Somehow that game is probably still selling somewhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that still
Yeah.
showing up in the charts for years and years.
Honestly, they could also do
Yeah.
the same thing with Mario Kart. They could sell the color green, the color green. They could sell like the color green as a cosmetic for $5, and people would buy it for some reason. But they don't. But they definitely could.
Buy
Yeah.
Peach's motorcycle leathers. They're no longer in the game. Now you got to pay $5 for it.
Exactly.
Someone's gonna do it.
Oh, man.
At
mean,
least let me
you
use
know-
my coins that I've earned.
This is this is the first generation with no Iwata input at all. I would be curious to see what's gonna happen. Like, will there be a little change here and there? Like, I don't know, But this is
Well,
definitely the first one.
Technically, they were clever. There was microtransactions in Mario Kart 8. They're called amiibo, motherfucker.
yeah,
You
that's
want a
true.
new Outfit.
You want the helmet?
You better
That
have
is
this
true.
amiibo.
That Pac-Man
That's
helmet
true.
was worth it.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but at least their microtransactions, there was incentive, because you had that
You
little
get a
statue,
figurine
you had that cool little amiibo.
And
Thing, right. And you could use it in other stuff. So
Yeah.
that's how Nintendo does it. They don't just do
Yeah.
the blatant,
Here,
microtransaction stuff.
yeah.
They try to
Oh,
do
I
something
saw
clever.
at that CD exchange they had the Metroid. I think it was Samus Returns. It's a double set with Samus in a pose, and then it looked a Metroid, and they were trying to $60. I think they had it was unopened, and I was like, it probably
Really?
wasn't. I wonder what that was new. Probably 40. It's not like it's a huge markup at this point, but there's some of those amiibos. I kept most of mine sealed, and I've never looked to see if there's any value to any of them at this point, but it's probably more the one-offs that didn't not that they didn't sell a lot, but that maybe they didn't manufacture as many. Because I know the Animal Crossing, what was it called? The Wii U festival.
Amiibo Festival.
Like that, those
Man,
sets
you
were
see,
super
man.
cheap. Years later,
You
there's.
can literally get it for like $5.
Mhm.
Man,
No one wanted
Muhammad
that
here being
game or the
toxic,
Amiibos, man.
Nintendo fans will buy anything. Xbox fans won't buy anything. They won't buy nothing. They won't buy the console.
If they sold a
They rely on
million
$80
Labo,
cardboard.
like a lot of people that bought
Oh,
Labo
man.
just are like people that like Lego. Like the building was the thing.
Right, who like craft stuff. It's right.
Even like Adam
for a
Savage,
certain audience.
Adam Savage's channel, they did Labo stuff, put Labo together, and he makes
It
all
didn't
kinds of
sell
crazy stuff.
4 million units.
I mean,
It's
so
for a certain group of people.
yeah, they didn't
Yeah,
get.
and then
And so
and look, if these Microsoft fans actually bought stuff, they wouldn't have to go to Nintendo fans to buy stuff and Sony fans to buy stuff.
Facts.
oh, Ayers, you got them. Early access. Yeah. Why? How are you playing at Avowed game right now? It's not out yet, is it? Oh, you paid for early access for that bit.
Paid for early
I was
access.
wondering
that's
about
interesting.
that. What else
You
did
could play it a
that?
few days earlier.
Another
That's worth
game,
it.
Monster Hunter Rise or Wilds people
This,
are playing.
man, this fucking corporation be making nickel and diamond so you could play 48 hours earlier,
Right.
man.
Right.
Why do I gotta pay $30
On the
more,
game,
man?
you already have Game Pass, so you literally pay for a fucking game that's going to be on Game Pass for nothing,
Yeah.
so you can play it earlier. Like, don't give me. I don't want to hit nobody. I don't want to hit about Labo anymore from you. You have no.
Labo's
you
an
have
actual
no rights.
tangible.
In fact, I want to see Microsoft do
Right.
something like Labo. I want to see them do something like
You
Labo.
know how-
Get
I
that
still
Labo.
have my Labo, mama.
You know
I can actually
how
use it for something.
meaningless that extra 48 hours is like 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Well,
the
no,
Wii-
how meaningless is it 2
Wait,
days from
a
now?
year, a few days. People are going to be over the hours that he got on this game. So
You
it's
remember
like,
the Wii
what's
U
the
update? People, oh my god, it's 45 minutes before I can play my system. It complained about it for like the first week. I'm like, do you
right?
like when you're playing Mario Kart 8 on your Wii U? Do you care about that 45 minutes to update you needed
Yeah.
to do? Like, get the hell out of here!
You
Like,
don't even-
Not all. You're over it.
you don't even
You're
remember
over
that.
it.
Yeah, I never understood that the whole like, oh, you could play 2 days.
Well,
ahead if
Ubisoft's
you-
big
if you
on
pay
that with their-
$30 more,
you have to pay.
$40 more.
This Ubisoft's that comes in the $120 version,
Holy
and the
shit,
and the
that's-
Hey, Muhammad, can you do this with your early access, mother? Look at this. This is a tangible thing that I actually still use.
it's
and
a
play
VR
cool little
headset.
mini games with. Wow.
I do wish the software was a little more meaningful with it, but I might have got into
I gotta
it.
get it at some. I do want to get it at some point because it's gonna be
I recommend-
that Nintendo little history thing.
Yeah, I recommend at least VR Labo. Like
Oh,
That's,
That's
what I
what-
want to
I
get.
don't
Is the
recommend-
VR
Ayers
Labo.
just brought up what I was going to bring up
Yeah.
when we're talking about
But
Nintendo.
also the giant robot one. Where you got in the back.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
ridiculous.
That's Project
That looks
Giant
cool.
Robot. It's cool. It's cool.
We were talking earlier about
can't get into
Nintendo
it,
and the online stuff. What happened to that online test? Retro still won't tell us what the hell it was. Like, dude, you could tell us privately where like
He's gonna no, but now that he's in America, he thinks he's gonna get deported back by doing that.
Oh my god.
as long as you don't show gameplay, you're good. You could and make a
I-
video talking about
I
it
don't think-
specifically. You could tell us like
I don't think Nintendo controls your.
I saw somebody
The
posted some
Nintendo
off.
ninjas, man, they be everywhere.
That's Elon Musk.
I saw somebody posted some off-screen footage. Yeah, it's really weird looking what it was. Like, I don't know what they're. I have no idea if that's going to be a game. Like, turn that into
No
a game.
clue. Yeah,
Or is
yeah,
that
I have no
something-
clue.
That was
Hey,
weird.
it's an experiment. I don't know. I have no clue what. But the music was really good. That's what bothers me is the music was really good, and I'm like, yo, don't let this never be released. This music. What are you doing? This is like really good music that you have made for this online test, and it's never gonna release. That sounds ridiculous.
Wasn't it
Please
like
release the
like
music.
me type characters like swinging like Spider-Man or
That's-
something?
I don't know. I never actually saw actual like on-screen
I
footage. of it.
saw.
I've only seen like some photos
It's
of
very
it.
Nintendo to do that though, to not release that music anywhere else.
It'll be on
Such a shame, 'cause
Alarmo.
I remember hearing. I was like, damn, this shit sounds so good.
No, I was gonna say, like, speaking of releasing music, can you speed up a little bit with this app? There's so many games that I don't have soundtracks for. Where is Super Mario Brothers 3? Where
Okay,
is
I'm watching.
it?
I'm watching footage right now. This is the first time I've seen footage.
Visor brings
Of
up
what?
a good blast from the past. You remember Michael Pachter, the analyst, sales analyst, who was just
boy.
always so wrong about almost everything, and he got so much shine during the Wii U era.
Yeah.
Like,
People still listen to him.
Yeah.
he
I
really?
don't
I haven't heard his
Saying
name in
crazy
years.
things. Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
He's
He
weird.
has his own show, Pack Attack.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I always thought he was supposed to be like what was he supposed to be?
That's
He
Like
was
some
a-
sort
a
of
Nintendo
stock
hater?
market.
Yeah,
type
he's like a
of-
sales analyst, like
He's a-
investor and
Yeah.
analysis.
People go to him and they pay him money for consulting. To book these
Console
last
consulting. A person who knows
Yeah,
nothing.
console. I'm like, what?
honestly.
What have you been
just,
right about?
Just seeing
I
this
can't-
little quick thing, I really like these little character guys. It's like little space dudes with helmets and then apparently the music, it has to be something that's going to be released because apparently there's 70 tracks in the music in the OST.
Really?
Holy crap.
It has to be something that's going to be releasing at some point. Then
Somebody recorded? Is that what happened?
apparently, I guess I just saw like on Reddit they have it.
like that.
I'm like, damn, that sounds.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, there's a
Ninjas,
gameplay
look
footage
out for
that's
the
on.
ninjas.
Yeah, but for some reason they never took this down. This was a month ago. They have gameplay footage on Reddit just there.
Oh wow.
So, I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't. But how are you gonna make so much music based off something that you're not gonna release in whole? I mean, it has to be because they have. I mean, it's literally unique characters. It's like a brand new IP essentially for them. Who knows what the hell it is? But I don't really understand it. It was only 30 seconds, but I don't understand what I saw. But I like the characters. I like the little character guys.
Game Pass early access is worth every penny. Avowed is already shaping up to be the tool of the show.
This sounds like some PR
Obsidian
speak.
really delivered on this one. 8 out of 10.
It's not. I mean, people saying it's pretty
Yeah,
solid.
that's
It's
great,
a
though.
really
That is
solid
Is
game.
Avowed supposed to be like
Which
an
is a
open
good
world game,
score.
or is it linear?
Which is a solid. Which is
Uh,
what I was expecting. I was like, it's probably gonna be an 8. It's gonna be 8.5 maybe. And yeah,
I think
it's
it's
8 out of 10.
I don't know if it's
I'm
fully
looking
open
forward to
world.
it, but I don't have to pay. No, it's like it has like biomes, like open biomes.
Yeah,
I don't have to
I mean-
pay to play that. I could just wait a few more days. It's like,
Didn't he say?
why
Was
is
it him or somebody else
That's
said
what I'm
that
trying
is
to
like
figure out.
breathtaking? I didn't. I mean, it looks good, but I wouldn't say it was anything breathtaking from the gameplay.
I
Like
haven't seen
visually,
breathtaking.
it didn't look breathtaking. It just looked like a cool, like a unique art style, and solid.
And people compare it to Skyrim, but it's not really Skyrim. It's not really.
It takes place in the same
Obviously, it's a-
universe as those. What was it? What the hell?
Fuck. I just
Something
heard it. I
not
can't remember.
Eternals. Something. I feel like it starts with an E.
Yeah, I can't remember. Tales of Eternia and
Something
You
like
talking about
that.
wait for what was it?
They-
I was
Something like
looking at this-
that.
I was looking at a screenshot.
The
What was it?
Avowed,
world
the world that the Avowed is from the two previous games. They made two games that.
Oh, the Outer Worlds.
No, it's
No. It's
But that's
something
what
of
they
Eternia or something.
not
Pillars
like
of
the
Eternity?
Pillars of Eternia. Yeah,
Eternia.
Eternity,
That's it.
isn't it Eternity or
Eternity.
Yeah, Pillars of Eternity. Yeah.
Eternity. It's that world. It's the game's made.
Well, that's where it's based on.
Made in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game I'll play in 5 years, 8 years.
Did I told you that, dude. Like, I know, this isn't just about, oh, I was right, you're wrong, but I just thought it was funny. Like, you were like, well, I'll never be more than 6 months behind. Just like, I'm 6 months behind. I'm starting right now. I'm 6 months behind. I'll never be more than 6 months behind. I was like, no, that's not how that's going to work.
Nope. Life will find a way to get in the way.
Well, also I've ended up
There's a lot of
adding
games.
way
There's a-
more games to these years.
Right.
2022 is to be the most games I've played in 1 year.
You're gonna have to like have a limit of
Yes,
number of
I
games.
don't doubt
30 or
Nah, I
something.
mean,
Muhammad, that
again,
it's
like,
a
in the end of the day, like,
it's a must play. I'm still trying to get back to the why you must play it 5 days early and pay for it. That's what I'm trying to get. That's why is it worth that? Is what I'm asking. I'm gonna play it and enjoy it, probably just as much as you, and I'm not paying
That's
extra
the
for it.
worst kind of
I'm
like
still-
I just noticed Mohammed. Well, Mohammed's just trolling. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
But he goes.
I don't
Ring Fit
know.
Adventure, $80 for a plastic ring and a fitness RPG that Nintendo abandoned after a year. People are spoiled. They didn't abandon
Abandoned.
it.
This game's still selling.
It's a full ass game that I've played
What is he talking
160 hours of. That is
What is he
like one
talking
of my
about?
most played Switch games.
What was it
Has-
sales up to? Like 10 million or something? It was
No,
up-
it's more than that. It's more than that. I think it was. Let's see, Ring Fit. And the end of the day, like my thing is like people are so used to like ongoing games. They didn't abandon it. They just made a complete game and released it.
Mhm.
That was it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it
That's
works.
how it works to some people.
And in the end of the game, that's a game that I
And
played.
they ran out of rings.
You mean they
Is that
didn't
what
have
you're
to
talking about?
patch it or delay it a full year to try to get it, come out and actually work?
Talking about Ring Fit? Is that what he's talking
Yeah.
Yeah, Ring Fit Adventure. 14 million
about?
copies
Like,
sold.
They sold so well they ran out of rings. They had to restock them bitches.
That is
Like,
true.
what
They
are you
did have to
talking about?
restock them. Yeah. But also, in the end of the day, I played 160 hours of that game, and I worked out more than you
It's
worked out. in your-
fantastic.
It's a great game. It's one of the best games on Switch. Truly.
$20
It's one of the best
for
RPGs.
a ring and a leg strap. I mean, just think of the packaging alone and the shipping. That's pretty much $20.
When is the Valve coming out? Is it
And also,
tomorrow?
again, like we said, I don't know what's going on in that ring, but there's some technology.
I think
you
it's
gotta
the
think about
sensor
for
in
that.
the
It's some
Joy-Con.
I don't know.
It's not just
so
the Joy-Con, my friend.
It's
If you're
so
bending
weird.
this, it knows when you're bending.
Yeah, I don't get. Yeah, I don't. I still don't understand the
There's
tech.
no
in that.
way it's just the Joy-Con.
The
Joy-Con
what
is
if the
just sitting
IR
there. It's just
camera
one-
can tell when it comes into view? When you bend it, it can see the
It's
plastic.
not facing
How's it know the other
it's not
side?
facing it.
It's going to be equal.
Yeah.
You can't squeeze
No,
one.
it doesn't have. Oh yeah, I guess
You're not going to be able to
technically.
squeeze one side in more,
Where is it?
unless it's just stiffer
Where's my-
by the plastic or something.
Yeah, but
It's just the camera's not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange.
It'd have to be
Ain't
the
no
right
line.
Joy-Con too if it was the IR.
It is, yeah. And you also, that's where you could check your heartbeat after each thing.
Because I bet that thing has a crazy like radius of,
Yeah, so
unless it's like,
Well,
yeah, I guess show us.
Yeah, I actually
yeah,
don't. I've never
here's
tried to
the,
bend one side but not the other side. I've never tried, to be fair.
okay, so your camera's here, right? The camera on your
Mm-hmm.
right here. This is your IR camera. So you're sliding it in here, right? It can't see you bending over there. Like it's pointing out this way.
All it
and
has to
you're
do
doing
is
this.
All it has to do is be able to see a little bit of that edge, and it probably has calculations.
That's crazy. I mean, but that's some sort of tech, though. Like,
Yeah.
there's some sort of idea that.
I
they have
bet
to
you
think
that
of.
took
That
some.
camera, what can that camera see? It's
I
not
bet it's-
seeing you bend. It can't. There's no
It's-
way.
it's just
I'm gonna cut this bitch open.
Yeah, I bet it can see out wider than you think. That's my guess. But
But that,
Well, I guess that too, but it just didn't make much sense.
and especially because when I mean it's exact, like
It gets
every
all
little
the
minute-
nuance.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Every
that to me is the
little
only
movement.
way it could know how far you're bending it is if it's
Well, I'm gonna
actually
cover the
seeing-
camera and do it. and
Try
see if
it,
anything
block it,
happens.
and see if it. Yeah,
I've never tried that actually.
That would
I
be
don't-
a
I've never
good
even tried
test.
that. I never thought about it till just now. I gotta try.
that'd be
Yeah,
a
I've never
good
thought about
test.
that
That
either.
would it be like if it still senses it? Yeah, then there's something else because
I mean, it has to be that because there's a reason that it uses that.
When you
Joy-Con.
slide
One
it
that
in,
has-
is
Nintendo
there
already
any-
explained to you about distances, so I think
when you click it in, if you look at the mechanism, can you see like is it actually connecting? Like the Joy-Con's connecting with the connector, like
Yeah.
to the Switch? It's not just a plastic.
it's like a switch, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
like
like
the
the
Switch
Switch
where-
sort of thing. Like it's the Switch, like when you.
So
when
there
you-
might be some
Yeah.
wires going.
There's
into
something
that.
in here. I think there are wires in there. Because I
Maybe.
think because this is this is a electronic piece here, and it's obviously like I said, the Joy-Con connects
Mm-hmm.
wiring here. You're not just going off of this. You're going off of what's going on in here too. So I think there's wiring in there. I'll try it though. I gotta.
Yeah,
try
that
it.
would
Yeah,
be
I never
interesting.
thought of that.
Works.
Never thought of that.
Do a
but I gotta
YouTube
try it,
short.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a quick YouTube short. 10 million views. How
But,
does Ring Fit Adventure work? I gotta use that voice. How does Ring Fit Adventure work? Let's try it out. And
Before
10
we
million
begin,
views.
though, like, share, and subscribe.
there was
Right, exactly.
there's this cool channel called Nerd Forge. They make the girl's like one of the most talented like painters that I've come across on like YouTube. I don't know. I'm sure there's other people really talented, but she's like they've been doing it for like 8 years, I think, since the channel's been going, and they constantly have to like come up with new stuff. And she's like 8 years in, you'd think she'd be more natural at it. It's the most forced like excitement. Like it's when she was younger and didn't do it as much, I was like, you know, she's a little quirky, but now it just feels completely like forced and stuff. And I'm like, they got millions of subscribers. It's a very successful channel, super talented. I just like she's now like I can't think of anybody else when you think of like exaggerated excitement, like trying to like sell you on something. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but you know, anyway, that's why I could never try. I tried it like not on camera, but just before, like when I was gonna record like a home theater video. I'm sitting on the couch. I was like, all right, let me try to do like enthusiastic guy intro. And I literally make it about 5 words, and I already like my brain just forgets that that's what I'm doing, and I immediately go back to my just normal monotone voice. Like it just, I can't even force it. Even if I'm trying, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's just not in me. It's not wired. I'm like, "What's up, guys?" And then like literally like 10 words later, I've already forgotten that was my plan, and I just go right back to my normal talking voice.
Yeah, like you do it for a little bit. Like I've tried to do it, but it doesn't last.
The people that can do it well, it's
the whole time.
impressive. Now that I've tried it myself, like
Yeah.
there's just people that are just natural. But then you have the ones that like the one I just explained there, it just feels artificial, and it's like I wish you wouldn't just just be your natural
Yeah,
self.
I don't like that type of stuff.
But anyway,
Just you being you.
Keep dreaming.
I'm gonna have to change my name to Retro Juice. By 2 podcasts from now, I think my phase of retro phase will be over. But
Yeah,
if I get this if I get this NES working,
era.
I'm gonna start ordering some games off eBay.
Ladies and
It's a little
got it.
error for you, and then you'll probably fade out.
But
in the
like
next
we were talking before the podcast started, like yeah, it's great turning on the Super Nintendo playing Super Mario World and literally doing the secret like cheat where you don't have
How
to
long
hit.
did you play?
I had it on for
That's
like
the
2
question.
minutes. That was like the first level I played. After
So that's the question.
and I was like, I got the feather.
You're the typical YouTuber
I went
who tends to play all these games.
but it was my first try. I first tried trying to get that that key and fly into with the cape. So I was like, oh,
Is that hard?
If you don't know what to do, it is. I'm not saying it's hard, but I'm saying like I did it in first try. Like, but I've been playing Mario Maker. I have flying levels in Mario Maker, so it's not like it's been 20 years since I've used the cape in a Mario game. But yeah, as cool as that is, like the Switch Online version is it's the same game and it looks way better. So it's like I'd rather just play that. Anyway, yeah, it's cool holding the Super Nintendo controller and stuff, but. Yeah, I'm content. I don't need.
Are you really that dense, bro? Are you real? Sorry, it's getting on my nerves in this bitch. Are you really that dense? I said to him, all right, I've seen reviews, man. I don't need it. I don't need. But I've seen reviews. I said good things about the game. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
So
I'm like, I don't need your review in the chat. And he says, cool, but reviews don't capture. Bitch, you're giving a review in the chat. At least on the review video, I can see things. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying you're doing the same thing. You're giving a review of this game in the chat. And I'm like, thank you, but I've seen reviews.
It says it's one of those games you need to feel for. This guy is doing Xbox PR.
You're acting like it's the most like you.
It's not special.
I watched the first person running and then the combat. You know, it's not like it's breaking any new ground here. Yeah, you know.
It's fine. You don't have to do this for every Xbox game.
It might be
You don't
be
gotta do it, bro. I already have
surprising.
Game Pass. It's cool.
It might be surprising to somebody playing. Wow, this I actually really enjoyed this game. I didn't know, I wasn't really hyped for it. There might be somebody like that, but for the most part, if you see the gameplay, you'll be able to get a good idea of what you're going to be doing. It's not like
Driven, man.
But anyway, let's get
Driven.
out of here. Thanks you guys for tuning in, and we're
Good
another
fun, man.
week closer to the Switch 2 Direct. So
Yay!
with every podcast, we're 1 week closer.
Yay!
Where are we at? We're 17th. We're halfway through, more than halfway through. We only got 11 days left
We
of
got
February.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mondays until
That's nothing.
Direct.
That's nothing.
That-
So
That State of Play was a really good Nintendo Direct.
Oh, we talked about it off air. I think.
yeah, but we're getting out of here. Appreciate you guys. Even Muhammad, you're here.
Hey, you make it fun.
In the absence
I
of
don't think
retro
he's
death,
listening.
in absence of
Honestly,
retro
I don't-
death, we
no,
need
I-
somebody to say something
I'm really
ridiculous.
bothered by it at all.
No, I don't think he's actually listening. He literally says, "Try it for yourself." This guy's not actually. He does. He
Yeah.
has us on
No.
mute.
We're
He
done.
has us on mute.
Next week,
He typed it and walked
next
away.
week we're just gonna ignore him like we did 2
Probably
weeks
true.
ago. So, but appreciate you always tuning in, man. See you next time.
Peace.
If you ignore him, he thinks you're bothering him. You can't do that.
I'll tell you. I think.